ठीक है, सब ठीक है
गुड
सर।
इवनिंग सर।
अब ठीक।
गुड इवनिंग सर।
अरे
Good evening,
सर।
सर
So
गुड नाइट हो गया
polite,
अभी तो।
man. You guys are so sweet. Good evening, and good evening. You're so cool, man.
सर
What?
सर अब तो रात हो गई है।
अब तो रात हो गई है। गुड नाइट बोलेगा तो फिर लोग एग्जिट मारेंगे ना यार, इसलिए लाइक गुड इवनिंग होता। एक मिनट मेरे को सिर्फ अदनानी। अरे साइशा, तू यहाँ क्या कर रही है?
Sir, I came to listen just.
क्यों? अबे मैं तो तेरा ही हूँ। तो अपन बाद में मिलेंगे ना। इन लोग बेचारे मेरे को मिलते नहीं है, इसलिए मैं इन लोग के लिए ऐसा इधर आया है। तू तो मेरे को कल मिलेगी ना वापस से। मेरे को पहले ये बता, तेरा वही बैच है जिसको मैंने निकाल दिया था क्या क्लास के बाहर?
हाँ sir.
शानी, तो तेरे को अर्न करना पड़ेगा ना वो। मैं थर्सडे को मिलूंगा तेरे को, थर्सडे को पढ़ाऊंगा। तू निकल यहाँ से।
Okay sir, bye sir.
ओके,
Thank
लव यू भाई। बाकी लोग कौन है भाई? मेरे स्टूडेंट्स कितने हैं यहाँ पे जो आए हुए हैं? मेरे को पहले ये बताओ यार, एक मिनट।
मैं नया हूँ, मैं नया हूँ।
कौन कौन? तू कौन नया है?
आदित्य प्रसाद।
अरे तेरे को नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, मेरे को एक ध्रुव भी दिखा। अरे ध्रुव, तू क्यों है यहाँ पे? अब तू बोलेगा सर मैं बंक मारा था आपका लेक्चर में, बैठ नहीं पाया, इसलिए मैं यहाँ आया हूँ कवर करने के लिए।
नहीं सर, कैसे सुनने के लिए आया था।
पर तू मेरे को रोज मिलता है। इन लोगों को मौका दे। 100 पार्टिसिपेंट्स की जगह 100 फुल है। मेरे को एक और चाहिए। तेरे को मिलता हूँ शांति से। ओके, लव यू, बाय। What is up, people? Alright, let me set some ground rules first. Only people who have their videos on will be allowed to sit. I have this thing. I don't care about your backgrounds. I don't care पीछे घर में कितने लोग हैं. I don't care घर पे cracks है नहीं है, क्या है क्या नहीं है. तुम 5 BHK में रहते हो, 1 room kitchen में रहते हो, मेरे को फर्क नहीं पड़ता. मेरे को वीडियोस ऑन चाहिए. अगर वो नहीं होता है तुमसे तो you should not be in the lecture. तो सब लोग कल्टी मार सकता है जिनको जिनको वीडियोस नहीं चाहिए. I don't care how you look. Nobody cares how you look. कोई कॉन्शियसनेस नहीं चाहिए मेरे को. ये क्लास में अपन सब बेवकूफ है. मेरे को ट्रांसपेरेंसी चाहिए. I just want all videos on. I'll give you guys 10 seconds. 10 seconds में videos on नहीं है तो you guys will be out. जल्दी करने का. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. अबे क्रिश, तेरे पंखे को देख के मैं क्या करूं बे? कैमरा ठीक कर.
वो एंगल थोड़ा वैसा ही है सर.
तो एंगल को ठीक कर रे. ऐसा पिच्चू बॉटल लगा. फोन पे है तू के लैपटॉप पे है?
टैब पे हूं मैं. तो
ये देख, ऐसा एक सैनिटाइजर लेने का, टैप को ऐसा अरेंज करने का ठीक से, और फिर तू ऐसे देख पाएगा मेरे को. जल्दी कर.
तो ऐसा बॉटल ले ले.
क्या ले ले?
बॉटल ले ले.
वाटर बॉटल ले ले. ऐसा आदित्य प्रसाद को सिखा रहा है. चंदना आर वीडियोस ऑन पाहिजे रे. अद्वैत, जुजैना, मिथाली, LMK315IM sounds like some bomb's name, but videos on, man. 10 seconds ago था. अभी भी कोई ऑन नहीं कर रहा. सुनते नहीं यार लोग मेरे को ठीक से यार. मैं निकाल दूंगा, फिर पसंद नहीं आया तुम लोगों को. निकाला क्यों हम लोग? जल्दी. ये हुई ना बात. कैसे हो तुम लोग? How's everybody? How's everyone?
I'm fine, sir.
Fine.
Everyone's okay? Like, why isn't, like, why are you guys so scandalized and not talking? Like, everyone's looking depressed, like you're being forced to sit for the lecture. You know, this is by choice, right? You guys are choosing to sit for this class.
Yes, sir.
So everyone can actually just chill and have some fun and just be happy and have some smile on your face. Why is, look at Vidhi's face like she's going to die in the next 5 minutes live on camera. Vidhi, hi. Now Vidhi's wondering how many Vidhis are there? Like, is he talking to me? Yes, Vidhi. VIDHI, Vidhi. Not talking. Bilal को देख. Bilal, क्या हाल चाल? तू है ना एक स्माइलिंग फेस के साथ बैठा हुआ है, क्यूटी.
यस सर.
किधर से है तू?
सर मुंबई से ही हूँ.
क्या बोल रहा है? किधर?
लाइक मसगांव.
कहाँ?
मसगांव.
क्या बोल रहा है तू? अबे कौन से स्कूल से?
पीटर्स, सेंट पीटर्स.
अरे पीटर्स, शाहीन का बच्चा है तू. शाहीन मैम पढ़ा दिया तेरे को?
यस सर.
Sexy, very nice, good यार. How many Mumbaites over here? Raise your hands. Oh, too many people. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, very nice. I'm so happy. And the rest of you are all outside Mumbai. People who are outside Mumbai are all good, happy, everything safe and sound. Weather, सब चंगा सी, सब खुश है.
सब चंगा से सब
Yes, sir.
सब चंगा. Sir, I'm trying to study from 2 months. रुक, माही माँ जबर मेरे साथ बात करी है. एक मिनट, किधर है? अबे मैं पढ़ाई करते वक्त चैट्स नहीं पढ़ सकता हूँ यार. रुक जा. But can't study at all. Mahima,
Yes, sir.
what solution do you expect from me? But today, though, I'm teaching you something. No? So let's start with that. All right, Aditi, what doubt? BVLS. Oh, you raise your hand to show me you're from Mumbai. Haath niche karna. Ready? Shall we do it? Shall we start? What happened is this: when I take a poll on Instagram, everybody gives me mixed opinions and everyone gives me mixed reviews because everyone has a mixed preparation to do. So I'm confused. I don't know what to teach. Whatever you guys need, I can do that. So Act 5 ka aisa ki I taught one session on live, then I posted a recorded session, and I need to finish that session. So वो मैं डाल देगा तुम लोग के लिए, ठीक है? तो तेरा Act 5 का टेंशन गया. अब तू मेरे को ये बता, how many of you want me to use this session for language, where I can take you A to Z के 40 मार्क के सेकंड सेम में तू ईमेल, नोटिस, लेटर एंड एसे में कैसे स्कोर करेगा? ये पूरी चीज एक सेशन में हो सकता है. इसलिए मैं एक पूरे सेशन में आज वो कर सकता हूँ. Because someone texted and told me, so why don't you start with Act 4? Act 4 is a long affair. It will take a lot of time to do. So do you want to wrap up language first, ताकि you have that out of your hand? चाल से 27 out of 100. That's a bad percentage. Rest of you? Yes, sir. Shoshu Singh. Okay. Rest of you also want it. Let's see. Let's get this to more than 50. Then I can start. More than 50 for language. Done. हाथ नीचू कर ले. हाथ नीचू कर ले सब लोग. Let me start. All right. So I am allowed to put my video off because you've already seen me. I am a real person. Because I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm going to do some guchar puchar writing. So life becomes simpler for you. Believe me, most of you hate studying. I know that. Okay. You guys are here because you guys are too sweet and you guys are thinking कि अरे मजा आने वाला लेक्चर में. बट एक बार मैं पढ़ाई स्टार्ट करेगा और फिर वो पढ़ाई होने वाला है. तो तुम कितना भी ट्राई करो, पढ़ाई तो बोरिंग ही होती है. तो 2-3 लोग यौन करेंगे. मेरा एक रिक्वेस्ट है, ऐसा मुंडी नीचे करके यौन करना ताकि मेरे को बुरा ना लगे. एंड द सेकंड थिंग इज कि मेरे को सिर्फ 20 मिनट्स तुम्हारा फोकस चाहिए. वो 20 मिनट्स में मैं तेरे को 40 on 40 ला के देगा. 20 मिनट्स तक सब लोग फोकस कर सकता है क्या? 20 मिनट्स के बाद जिसको डिस्ट्रैक्ट होने का रूम के अंदर कोई मम्मी पापा मामा मामी जो भी है उन सबको बोल 20 मिनट्स के लिए मुंह बंद रखे. तुम लोगों को डिस्टर्ब नहीं करने का 20 मिनट्स तक. ठीक है? जल्दी से एक पेपर पेन लेके आ जा. गजीनी नहीं बनने का, हाथ बात पे नहीं लिखने का. ठीक है? ये लिखने वाला एडवाइस इसलिए दे रहा हूं बिकॉज काम आएगा तुम लोग को. ठीक है? चल मैं चालू कर रहा. सानिध्य हाथ नीचे कर ले बेटा.
मेरा गोकू रेडी.
क्या रेडी है? गो रेडी.
गोकू ये देखो ना सर, पेन का कलर.
अरे तू मेरा गोकू देखना यार. तू क्या यार, तू किसके साथ यार कंपीट कर रहा है यहाँ पे यार? ये देख, ये होती है बात. मैं अपना पूरा टॉय का दुकान लेके ही घूमता हूँ लाइफ में हर जगह. चल, पर अब मेरे को काम दिखाने का तेरे को थोड़ा.
पहले था मेरे पास एक्शन फिगर, फिर पता नहीं कहाँ गया वो.
अरे मॉम ने 10th समझ के फेंक दिया रहेगा तेरा ताकि तू फोकस करे पढ़ाई में. रुक जा. मेरे को ना गैजेट्स बहुत पसंद है. आता नहीं है यूज करने को, बट मैं सीख रहा है थोड़ा थोड़ा. Done. Sharing screen. The only reason I'm putting my video off is because when I talk and I'm sharing the screen, I sometimes subconsciously start digging my nose or something, and then I'll be rubbing my chest and all that, and you won't really like that. You'll be like, क्या कर रहा है disgusting आदमी. इसलिए मैं वीडियो ऑफ रख रहा ताकि मेरे को ऐसा पता चले कि मैं सेफ है. रुक जा. शेयर स्क्रीन. इधर को तुमको दिख रहा है क्या? There you go. 1 minute. Oh, 1 minute. हाँ, हुआ नहीं कुछ. 1 minute. There you go. मुंडी हिला के मेरे को बोलने का सबको दिख रहा है क्या? ऐसा ऊपर नीचे करोगे तो मेरे को मालूम पड़ेगा. हाँ बस सही है. चल स्टार्ट कर रहा मैं. Your 40 mark paper 20 minutes. हाँ, my time starts now. 20 minutes तक फोकस चाहिए मेरे को. It's a 40 mark paper. The advantage you guys have is that you don't have any grammar, comprehension and all that jazz. What you do have is a notice, an email, a letter, and an essay. Notice is 5 marks, email is 5, letter is 5, essay is 20. You knew this already. Why am I writing this? It's always good to know your battleground. ठीक है? Realistically, school कुछ भी बोले तुम लोग को, realistically क्या मिलता है स्कोर यहाँ पे? 5 में से 5 मिलता है, 5 में से 5 मिलता है, 10 है ये, सॉरी मैं मैथ्स करा रहा हूँ, 10 में से 10 मिलता है, और ये जो 20 है ना, उसमें 18 अगर मिल गया तो लॉटरी है. 18 के ऊपर 19 है ना, सिर्फ चलो फिनिश. अरे टेक्नोस्पार्क, हाँ 19 ना, सिर्फ वो एक इंसान को जो पॉपाई है, जो स्पिनच खाता है, जो एकदम बहुत like someone who's excellent, that person gets 19. Otherwise 19 is very difficult to score. All right, 18, nice. 18 is for people like that. 10% of the crowd would get 18. All right, the rest of us on an average get anything between 15 to 17 on 20. Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to the essay later, although essay is the first thing that you need to start with on the paper. I'm going to start with the section that's the most scoring. Now, kids and teachers across the country in schools tend to complicate a notice and email for no reason. So know your rights first. When I talk about a notice, there are traditionally 2 formats that are flying around. Okay, one is called format 1, one is called format 2. Very creative. They couldn't come up with a better name for it. Format 1 is what I prefer. The rule is very simple. If you do format 1 for notice, you have to maintain format 1 for email as well. If you follow format 2 for notice, you'll have to follow format 2 for email as well. You can't mix and merge the two. So if you like format 1 of notice but format 2 of email, that's a no-go. You can't do it. All right. So stick with format 1 for both. I'll teach you both. When I talk about format 1 and why that's my personal favorite is because it's very easy. I'm talking about notice first. The first thing I need to do is come up with a creative heading. All right. I'm going to call it CH for now. CH. Always put an exclamation mark over here because you're drawing people's attention, right? You want people to read the notice. Think of it practically. Like you're putting up a sticker somewhere. You want people to read it. Put up an exclamation mark. Don't get overzealous and put 2 exclamation marks, 3 exclamation mark. That's not allowed. Only one, a single exclamation mark. After that, leave a line. Then you put in the actual heading. Now, this one you're going to get from the question. The mistake kids make is that this and this are often not related. So, for example, the most classic example you guys keep reading about is war of words. It's an inter-school debate competition. Like the most classic example. You must have seen tons of solved examples for this. War of words, inter-school debate competition. Now, that makes sense, no? When I say war of words, मेरे को मालूम है मैं कुछ तो debate competition की बात कर रहा हूं यहाँ पे. It's a conflict of words. But over there, if you put in congratulations, you win, and then नीचे लिखा inter-school debate competition, that makes zero sense. Like they are not related at all. So please make sure that your creative heading is related to your actual heading. All right. Then you leave a line. Then center based to on लिखेगा, एक line छोड़ेगा, to from लिखेगा, एक line छोड़ेगा, to at लिखेगा. Now on मतलब date है. तो मैं simple formula यहाँ पे लिखेगा. Third. अभी यहाँ पे कुछ टेढ़े इंसान होते हैं जो अननेसेसरी तुम्हारी लाइफ झंड करते हैं आके बोलते ए थर्ड ना ऊपर नहीं लिखने का आरडी नीचे सबस्क्रिप्ट लिखने का या फिर डस्ट ऐसे आरडी सेम साइज का होना चाहिए. ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. ये वो टीचर्स है जिनके लाइफ में और कुछ है नहीं कॉन्फ्लिक्ट इसलिए वो लोग तुम्हारी लाइफ को कॉम्प्लिकेट करता है. तू थर्ड लिख सुपरस्क्रिप्ट के साथ या सबस्क्रिप्ट के साथ सब अलाउड है. बट थर्ड विद अ सुपरस्क्रिप्ट इज ऑब्वियसली द most common norm, like it's the most accepted norm, so everyone does that. All right, so put in third upar RD ke sath. Then February, like put in the whole word. If you're not very comfortable with February spelling, like I'm pretty sure many people don't know. Ishan, बुरा नहीं मालूम है क्या spelling तेरे को February का?
Yes
sir. MAY होता है. सच्ची बता मालूम है?
हाँ sir.
अभी क्या अभी मैं लिख लिया, अब मैं फाइंड आउट नहीं कर सकता हूँ. बट अगर तेरे को नहीं आता तो तू कोई भी मंथ का लिख सकता है जो तेरे को पसंद है. ठीक है, 3rd February, फिर कॉमा डाल, फिर यहाँ पे 2020. अरे तू दुखी क्यों हो रहा है? मैं ऐसे ही मजाक कर रहा था. 2022, फिर यहाँ पे फुल स्टॉप डाल. ठीक है, अब मेरा डेट हो गया. टेल मी समथिंग, इफ आई गो फॉर एन इवेंट ऑन दिस डे, इज दैट कंप्लीट नॉलेज? नो, राइट? लाइक आई वांट टू नो व्हाट टाइम, सो आई एम ओनली गोना गेट हाफ मार्क फॉर दिस. My other half mark comes when I also put in the time over here. So let's put in the time. 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Once again, people like complicating shit. Like, oh my God, how did he write 9 like this? No, it has to be 9. Only one dot. No. Oh, you mean like this? No. You can just put in a colon and write 9. Also, यहाँ पे ज़्यादा creative नहीं बनेगा. सब लोग ने 9 लिखा, तू बोल रहा है मैं 903 लिखेगा. मेरा एकदम अलग लाइफ चल रहा है. ऐसा नहीं करने का. 9 ही लिखने का. Normal. 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. कोई भी टाइम लिख तू. But don't try to be अतरंगी over here. ठीक है? So 9 colon 00 a.m. to 11 colon 00 a.m. at. Now, where is this happening? Now, that's a common mistake people make. They end up writing only one location. That's not allowed. You need at least 2 locations. Smaller location first, bigger location later. So smaller location is auditorium. Let's say auditorium A. My school is big. I'm showing off. I've got like multiple auditoriums. But which school is this? So let's say Pota. So auditorium school, auditorium A, Podar school. Now I have half mark over here, half mark over here. It's important to know your marks. So you know where the teacher is cutting marks, where you're getting marks. Creative heading का 1 mark मिला, actual heading का 1 mark मिला. कितने marks हो गए अभी तक? उंगली उठा. अरे उंगली उठाने का है रे. स्क्रीन पे ऐसा दिखा कितने मार्क्स हुए?
2 मार्क्स.
अबे कार्टून 4 हुए ना बेवकूफ. 1 2 3, ये पूरा 3 हुआ और ये पूरा 4 हुआ ना यार.
हाफ हाफ तो 1 होएगा ना फिर.
तो हुआ ना 1. अरे हाफ प्लस हाफ 1, 1 प्लस 1 2, 2 प्लस 1 3, 3 प्लस 1 4, हुआ ना 4. प्रसाद, तेरा मैथ्स मेरे से भी खराब चल रहा है भाई. टेंशन की बात है ये. 4 दिखा कि
नहीं सर मैं बोला हाफ प्लस हाफ इज इक्वल टू 1 ना.
अच्छा तू उसको ज्ञान दे रहा है. हाँ ठीक है चल. 4 मार्क्स हो गया ना मेरा अभी तक. 4 मार्क्स के आगे मेरे पास एक ही मार्क बचता है. ये पूरे चीज में योर ग्रामर डजंट मैटर. यू कैन बी अ पर्सन हु हैज गॉट हॉरिबल इंग्लिश. Yes, Arya, beta, I'm taking doubts in 2 minutes. Okay, just let me finish this. Give me 1 second. हाथ नीचे कर लें. Let me finish this, then I'll answer all your doubts. Your English doesn't matter in the 4 marks. You can be someone who sucks at English, but if you follow your instructions properly, you get full 4 marks. I only have that 1 mark to achieve now. That 1 mark's gonna come in my content over here. My content should be maximum 4 lines, minimum 3 lines. Also, the teacher is only looking for 2 things in this content. A, she's looking if you mention the audience. Who is this notice for? Is it for 8th graders, 9th graders, 10th graders? Who is it for? And B, who are you supposed to contact if you're interested? So let's say I am interested in this debate competition. Where can I register? So you put in that date. If the event is happening on 3rd February, tu notice laga raha hai, let's say 3rd February के लिए तू कब लगाएगा नोटिस? 15 जैन को तू नोटिस लगा रहा है ताकि इनफ टाइम मिले. 15 जैन को तू नोटिस लगाएगा, लोग नोटिस पढ़ेंगे, लोग रजिस्टर करते करते 20th जैन हो जाएगा, 25th जैन हो जाएगा. तो 25th जैन, सो ऑन और बिफोर
15 डेज के बाद करने का सर. ऐसा
कितना?
15 डेज के बाद बोलता है लोगों के साथ. 10 या 15
ऐसा रूल नहीं है. तू 10 to 15 पकड़ सकता है, but you have to give enough number of days to people. Nobody is actually counting backwards and seeing if you actually put in 15 days. So teachers say that in order to teach you to keep a gap, but it's never a rule. So don't worry about your dates over here, but always make sure you have enough time to register. Okay? I'm going to put this neatly once again. So it's embedded in our heads, a creative heading, exclamation mark, an actual heading, then on, then from, then at. On is your date, from is your time, at is your location. Then I leave a line. I put in my content in 3 lines, and there I get 5 on 5. All right. Now here's a conflict that most kids are confused about. So what if the notice is about a camp and there are multiple days, like the camp is of 5 days or a picnic is of 5 days? How do we put that over here? In that case, no, if you're talking about a camp, this on becomes the registration day. So your topic also should be that. Your creative heading should be register for the camp of your life. Camp of a lifetime. There you go. Okay, I'll make it shorter. Right now I'm not thinking. I'll think of a better thing. All right. Then niche, camp to Kunur. Or whatever the spelling is. Don't go by my spellings. My geography sucks. My spelling suck. Okay. Then I'll leave a line. Then I'll put in on. Now this on is the date for my registration. Then from the time for the registration at the place for my registration. But what are the camp details that goes in the content over here? The camp is a 5-day camp starting from so-and-so to so-and-so. Details of the same will be available upon registration with Mrs. So-and-so at the staff room. That's it. That's your notice. मेरे को तो अभी 5 मार्क मिल गया ऐसा मेरे को लग रहा है. You guys can ask me doubts. Let that register, let that sink in. Ask me whatever doubts you have about notice. इस सेशन के बाद नोटिस में मार्क्स नहीं लूज करने का. सुमित.
यस सर. सर आप मुझे मतलब थोड़े क्रिएटिव हेडिंग के बारे में मतलब कुछ एग्जांपल दे सकते हो?
Yes. So Sumit's question is something that all kids try to do, but it's a bad idea. Sumit, you can't have a kitty of creative headings. I'll tell you why. Because the topic can be anything. Why will you go with ready-made headings better? You don't have to be creative about it. I mean, I know it's called a creative heading, but you don't have to go out of your way. Your creative heading can be as common as a third person's creative heading. So let's analyze this. Sumit, our teachers are very limited right now, right? So ICSE में क्या ही topics आ सकते हैं? You may have a debate competition. You may have a sports event. You may have a music fest. You may have a cultural meet. You may have a poetry recitation. You may have an elocution. You may have a tree planting event. You may have some XYZ event. You may have a camp. These are the only topics that can come. I'm exhausted. Can anyone think of any random topic right now off the top of your head?
Drama competition.
Drama competitions. Yes. All right. Drama. What else?
Painting competition.
Painting
Dance
competition.
का भी competition होता है.
So, I mean, I'll categorize all of them as competitions. Whatever you guys are talking about is some sort of a competition. Agreed. So competitions or an event, that could be the only thing. So your creative heading has to be something related to that. So compete for respect, or let's say if it's a musical fest, then let's say it's a singing competition. So melody, galore. So a variety of melodies. No, so time for
battle of voices.
a melodious retreat.
Battle of voices.
Yeah, battle of. It could be any. Put in battle of and put in anything. That works. Yes. And now, Sumit, you understanding what my point is better? Whatever your creative heading is, just put in words like compete or melodious or retreat or battle of, and then you have your actual creative heading.
Can you give us like titles for each of these for like a rough idea?
A title. When you say a title, you mean the actual heading?
Yeah. For like debate, sports, music, like.
Give me a topic. I'll make one right now. Tell me a topic that's in your head. Like you came across it in a school paper and now you're confused. Like, let's say, Ira, you have one topic.
It's
Sir, it can be charity drive.
Okay, no. Do you want me to? So yeah, okay. Do you want me to make up one for a charity drive right now? I'm saying if anyone's got a topic that you were stuck at, give me a topic. I'll make one right now for you.
Yes, sir, charity drive.
A charity drive for what though?
Sir, for the underprivileged children.
Underprivileged kids, right? So donate for good. So now donate for good. Now that's my creative heading. All right. Oh, by the way, my bad. Let's keep this block letters. If you've not made that note already, make that note. Your creative heading needs to be in block. So donate for good. All right. I've got it all in block letters. I hope everyone knows what block letters are over here. Basically not cursive, block.
Yeah.
All right? I leave a line and I write what Ira exactly said. Charity, this could mean cursive. That's okay. Charity drive for the poor. Then when is this drive? So on 3rd March.
Can we start with annual charity drive?
Yes, you can. You can write annual charity drive for the poor. So it's happening once a year. That's okay. 3rd March 2022. Hold on. I'm taking all doubts. Don't be shy. Raise your hands. Ask me doubts. No matter how stupid it is. Just keep your hands raised. I'll attend to all of it. I'll put in the time 9 a.m. to let's keep it a longer period. So 12 p.m. Where is this happening? So let's say classroom 9B Oda School. And then I put in the actual thing. Okay. Students across grades 5, I'll write the word, not the letter, 5 to 10 are invited to donate or give away clothes, toys, or books for the underprivileged. I'll write the whole thing, just this is right now. People in those interested. Haji, 1 second. Take a second. Huh? Now I don't need a registration for this, right? Because it's a charity drive. Why would I need to register for the same? I'm actually inviting people. Those interested may do the same on the given date. Last line, consult Mrs. Sharma for more details. Yes, beta. Now tell me. One person at a time. Let's take Adi first. Yes, 1 second. Huh? Urvi, बोल दे बेटा. क्या हुआ?
So आपने लिखा है students across grade. उसके बाद जो आपने लिखा वो समझ नहीं आ
वो
रहा
मेरा
है।
हैंडराइटिंग बच्चा खराब है. सॉरी, वो 5 to 10 है. मैं पहले ऐसे 5 नंबर लिख लिया. फिर मुझे लगा it's safer to just write FIV. Why get into a conflict with the teacher?
Okay, sir.
सर वो 5 to 10 वाला ऐसा रहता है वो.
ऐसा कोई रूल नहीं है आदि. वो 5th ऐसा लिखना जरूरी नहीं है रोमन डिजिट्स में स्टफ. तू 5 to 10 भी लिख सकता है बिकॉज मैं ग्रेड पहले लिख रहा हूँ. अगर तू 5th लिख रहा है तो उसके बाद वर्ड ग्रेड आएगा. ऑलवेज रिमेंबर दैट. अगर मैं ग्रेड वर्ड पहले यूज कर रहा हूँ तो मैं 5th नहीं बोल सकता हूँ, तो मैं 5 ही बोलूंगा. ग्रेड 5 या 5th ग्रेड, दोनों में से कोई भी एक. दक्ष, क्या डाउट है बच्चा?
Sir, I want to ask that we have to give location where is the event. So
Correct.
like hall number 2.
Later.
So we have to write number NO dot or whole like NUMBER.
So can I suggest something, Daksh? When you have no
Yes,
clarity
sir.
on that, why do you want to show that you have 2 halls? Just write hall or auditorium. Keep it simple.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
है ना? In an actual notice in a real world, no one cares. Now in ICSE, there are no restriction for this. तू NO लिख के आएगा, NO के बाद डॉट डालेगा, तेरी टीचर को खुन्नस होगा तो काटेगी मार्क्स. But उससे अच्छा डाल ही मत वो. Just write hall. Who cares whether you have 1 hall or 2 halls? It's a fictional thing.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yashashwai Ferry.
सर हमें किधर किधर लाइन छोड़नी है और अगर हम नहीं छोड़ेंगे तो मार्क्स कटते हैं क्या?
हाँ, मार्क्स कटते हैं अगर तूने लाइंस नहीं छोड़ी है बिकॉज वो क्रैम्प्ड होता है. तो तेरे को सिंप्लीफाई करके बताता हूँ, हर जगह पे लाइन छोड़ दे. लाइन छोड़ने का कोई मार्क्स नहीं है, एज इन कोई पेनल्टी नहीं है. लाइन नहीं छोड़ेगी तो पेनल्टी है. बट तेरे को पता है ये स्क्रीन दिख रहा ना तेरे को, स्क्रीन पे मैंने रूल्ड वाला फॉर्मेट इसलिए चूज किया ताकि तेरे को पता चले कि मैंने लाइंस छोड़ी है. तो जहां मैंने छोड़ी है वहां हर जगह पे तेरे को छोड़नी है. ठीक है?
ओके सर.
आयरा, क्या डाउट है बच्चा?
सर यहाँ पे डेट में आपने कॉमा लगाया सर.
हाँ, तो रूल ऐसा है, मैं तेरे को बता देता हूँ. आयरा, you either put all punctuations or don't put any punctuations. It's allowed.
Okay, sir.
Both are accepted. So
Yes, sir.
if you eliminate punctuations from everywhere except here, this needs to be there for sure.
Yes,
right?
sir.
But you can eliminate punctuations from everywhere else. That's allowed.
Yes, sir.
Riya, what's your doubt, bacha?
Sir, हमारे स्कूल में they give us date, time, venue. So is that all?
So, bacha, I have not gotten to format 2 yet, Riya. Remember, I started with format 1, format 2. That's format 2. So now that you brought it up, this is for everyone's sake. I can write this whole thing as a format 2. Everything will be left aligned. So I will start. This is my page, my answer paper. My title also is left aligned. Donate for good. All right. Then, sorry, my title will be center based. Hold on. Sorry, my bad. My title is center based. Donate for good, blah, blah, blah. Then, Riya, everything happens on the left. So you'll say date, then leave a line, venue, then leave a line, time, then leave a line, and then you write the content. All right, this is on the left. The trick over here is that in the date, you can't just write 3rd March. You have to write 3rd March 2022 के पहले तेरे को Monday या Tuesday ऐसा लिखना पड़ेगा. It's a rule. तेरे को day लिखना पड़ता है. So my advice is don't get into it, Riya. वो it's a complicated affair यार. वो date because तू जब date venue time लिखती है मतलब तेरा email में भी तू TO and subject ये word use कर रही है. ये format 2 का subject है. I mean format 2 का format है. But format 1 में ना date ये 2 and subject लिखना जरूरी नहीं है email में. तू directly सिर्फ लिख सकती है जो भी तेरा address है. I'll get to that. Hold कर. ठीक है. One thing I want to clarify: some schools teach something very ridiculous over here. They say after the notice you're supposed to put in the designation over here, like you are the head boy who's putting up the notice, so you put your name. That is not true. I don't care which school is teaching you what. You have no reason to trust me, but if you like have 1% trust on me, please don't do this. Your schools don't know shit. You're not supposed to put a designation over here. So your question might be, so then why the hell are they putting a designation in the notice का topic? हाँ, अगर designation डालना ही नहीं है तो question में क्यों लिखा है as a head boy you are supposed to put up a notice? Because भाई तेरा वो designation email में use करना है तेरे को end में, इधर use नहीं करना. Yes, भव्य.
सर नोटिस वर्ड लिखना है क्या?
क्या नोटिस वर्ड लिखना है कि नहीं? स्टार्टिंग में नहीं लिखना जरूरी नहीं है. तो क्वेश्चन नंबर ठीक से डाल रहा है ना?
यस सर.
हाँ, अथर्व.
सर हमारे स्कूल में बोला है कि वो ऑन फ्रॉम एट है, वो बीच में लाइन नहीं छोड़ना.
हाँ बेटा, अब ये वाला कॉन्वर्सेशन बहुत लंबा चलेगा. हर एक जन मेरे को बोलेगा सर हमारी स्कूल ने ये बोला, पर मैं तेरे को बोल रहा हूँ लाइंस छोड़ दे. ये मैं इट्स फॉर योर नीटनेस बेटा. लाइन छोड़ना जरूरी है. लाइन छोड़ने पे कोई पेनल्टी नहीं है. लाइन नहीं छोड़ेगा तो क्रैम्प दिखेगा, नीट नहीं दिखेगा, एंड यू विल एंड अप लूजिंग मार्क्स.
और सर ये वाला जो नोटिस का फॉर्मेट 1 है उसके लिए आपने जो बोला ना ईमेल में 2 और सब्जेक्ट नहीं लिखना, हम लोग को बोला है कि ये फॉर्मेट 1 लिखना है और वो ईमेल में 2 और सब्जेक्ट भी लिखना.
बेटा आई हैव नॉट कम टू द ईमेल येट बच्चा. तू ईमेल के डाउट को होल्ड पे रख 2 सेकंड. अवंतिका, व्हाट्स योर डाउट बच्चा?
सर आपने जो टाइम के बारे में बोला वो सिर्फ 9 AM लिख सकते हैं?
नहीं ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है बच्चा. मेरे को 9 पसंद है क्योंकि मैं उठने बजे उठता हूँ लाइफ में. वो तू 8 AM लिखना, 8 AM लिख, 7 AM लिखना, 7 AM लिख.
सिर्फ AM लिख सकते हैं?
क्या लिख सकते हैं? 9. तू ये बोल रही है कैन आई जस्ट राइट 9 AM?
नहीं सर वो हाँ
लिख सकती है, ऐसा कोई रूल नहीं है. बट ये वाला ज्यादा इजी है ना बच्चा, अच्छा भी दिखता है. मतलब कोई इश्यू है तेरे को वास्तु के हिसाब से नहीं लिखना चाहती है तो अलग बात है, बट अदरवाइज लिख लेना, क्या ही फर्क पड़ता है.
ठीक है सर.
ठीक है. और कोई डाउट है किसी को? एनीबॉडी? दार्जिलिंग गर्ल संजना खत्री, कोई डाउट है?
Should there be a full stop in between A and M?
Sorry बेटा. Oh, will there be a dot between A and M? Is that what you're asking? It doesn't matter. And trust me when I say it doesn't matter. Like, because I'm telling you the board correction pattern. They don't check these things. This is something that's hyped up only in schools. Nobody cares whether you're putting A.M or not. Or whether you're writing AM in caps. ऐसा कुछ भी rules नहीं है. ऐसा दिखेगा तो भी marks मिलेगा.
Can we write 12 noon?
हाँ, you can.
और सर एंडिंग टाइम लिखना जरूरी है?
फिर PM नहीं लिखेगा तू, सिर्फ 12 noon लिखेगा. हाँ. एंडिंग टाइम लिखना बहुत जरूरी है. whoever asked this question, very valid question. You can't just write from and then leave it. बेटा वो infinity थोड़ी ना है. from something to something होना जरूरी है. अगर तू from लिख रहा है तो to होना जरूरी होना चाहिए ना बच्चा. how can you not put an ending time?
Sir, 12 PM होगा ना?
क्या 12 PM? हाँ PM ही डाला मैंने. अरे मैं अभी उसको दिखा रहा था कैसे लिखते हैं AM, और मैंने PM इसलिए काटा बिकॉज यहाँ पे मैंने नून लिखा.
Okay, sir.
सुपरनी इंसान है यार तू.
Excuse me, sir. So designation is not required.
What's not required, बच्चों?
Designation.
Designation is not required. No, not required नहीं, डालना ही नहीं है. You can't put a designation in the notice.
अच्छा सर, क्या हम लोग ऐसे भी लिख सकते हैं क्या? Those interested students of grade 5 to 10 may do the same on the given date and consult. ऐसा मतलब दोस्त इंटरेस्ट से चालू कर सकते हैं क्या? ऐसा
कर सकते हैं बच्चा. आदि ये कंटेंट के अंदर हर एक का इंग्लिश अलग होने वाला है. It doesn't matter तू क्या लिखता है क्या नहीं लिखता है. But the two points that they are looking at is whether you put in this audience wala batch and who to contact. If you've written that correctly, you will score marks.
Okay.
Hasini.
Sir, about the designation, our teacher has said it carries a mark and she did cut marks.
Yes, it carries a mark. It's called negative fuddu mark. Don't do it. I don't care what your teacher said. It doesn't matter. Your teacher knows nothing. Don't tell her I said that, but please don't do it. All right. Where are you from?
Okay. So Hyderabad.
Then your teacher definitely doesn't know anything. Trust me, Mumbai teachers are more superior. No, I didn't say that. I love Hyderabad teachers. I'm kidding. Alright, but I'm not kidding. Hasini, do not put the designation Bachu. What will happen is you'll end up losing marks in your board exam, and those teachers will simply tell you, oops, I don't know where you lost marks, but I'm so sorry for you. How will you know where you lost marks? Don't do it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would this stranger guy think about our results? I care a lot about your results. I will not let you write the wrong thing. Look, you'll see a forehead in this whole screen. वो वंशी मोरजारिया का forehead है. ए वंशी किधर है तू?
Sam here.
हाँ मुंह खोल. हाँ एक बात बता, ये लोग को जरा इंट्रोडक्शन दे. तू मेरी बच्ची है कि नहीं है?
Yes sir.
तेरे को मार्क्स मिलते हैं कि नहीं मिलते लाइफ में?
हाँ sir.
तो झूठ मूठ का बोल, मैं पैसा देगा बाद में तेरे को. ग्रिगोरियस के होम में है ना तू?
Yes sir.
You're from St. Gregorius from Mumbai, right?
Yes sir.
It's a reputed school.
Yes sir.
Did I pay you anything before this lecture?
No sir.
So you have been following my instructions and getting marks, right?
Yes sir.
चल अभी बोला I love you sir.
I love you sir.
I also love you. Hasini, you saw that kya? See, simple
Yes,
translation. It was not scripted at all. Don't do it. Okay. Any other
Yes.
doubt? Yes. Yashaswini.
Thank you, sir.
Yashaswini. You have to unmute.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So after the catchy title, you have put a full stop. Is it really necessary in the subject?
But I've put in an exclamation mark, and that's necessary. Yes.
No. After the catchy title in the subject.
Over here, is this what you're talking about? No, that's not necessary. You put in or don't put it. I just put it because I like ending things with a period. Not necessary. Just Karan.
Yes, sir. Sir, do we need to write actually that on from at before the lines?
I didn't get that question, beta. What?
Sir, do we need to actually write that on from and at before the lines?
You're talking about these words? Like, do we need to write these words on from and at?
Yes, sir.
Yes, beta. Otherwise, you'll end up losing that half mark.
Okay, sir. Thank
Mahima?
you.
Talks में होनी चाहिए ना?
Sir, my all teachers in school are saying that we have to compulsory write notice above the starting.
अरे यार तू लिख ले चल बस उसका कोई टेंशन नहीं है बस ये ले खुश.
सर वो लोग बोल रहे हाफ मार्क किसका मिलता है, तो मिलता है क्या?
नहीं मिलता
यार. अरे guys, if we get into these conversations, we'll never finish. मेरा 20 minutes खत्म होने हैं. लोग already टपक रहे हैं boredom से. वो जॉय का फेस जॉय है ही नहीं बिल्कुल भी. वो देख उसका कैसा दुखी फेस चल रहा है जॉय कुमार का. अरे स्कूल में तुम लोगों को क्या सिखाया जाता है बच्चा? I can't argue with each one of you. I can only tell you what I know is right. Also, what Hasini was asking, as a 14-year-old, 15-year-old kid, you have every right to doubt what I'm saying. So let me just verify why this confusion happened in the first place. Like, why on earth would teachers teach you something that's not there in the first place? It's because when ICSE back in 2020 or 2019, I think email and notice was introduced for the first time. ICSE itself was confused about the format, and there were multiple formats flying around the market. Now, some teachers have not evolved and improved or attended the cell meetings and updated their formats. They are still teaching you the old formats. So whatever you're being taught is an old format, because schools are sometimes short-staffed, and teachers who teach you in 9th and 10th are not actually teachers who've attended board meetings. These are teachers who are actually 6th to 7th grade K teachers. So they don't know stuff. They are looking at Total English, or they're looking at books like Evergreen or Frank's, and they are giving you shit. That's not correct. All right. So this format is the updated format. My reputation is at stake. It's on the internet. If this format is proven wrong, you guys can all just troll me later. All right. I am telling you, this is the format. Stick to it. Yes, Pritha.
Hello, sir.
Pritha?
Yes, sir. Sir, do we have to write our own school's name?
Where? No, oh, okay. So I write Podar because it's a very easy spelling and I like that name. It sounds good, Podar. You can write any school's name. It doesn't matter. You don't have to put your
Sir,
own school's name.
actually our school name is like too big.
Yeah, so
we
you
need
don't have
like
to. But
2
Prita, you
lines.
don't have to. Stick to this is a nice name. Look at this. Podar. Wait, my pen's not working. Hold on. Hold on, huh? Just 1 second. This is a school's name that I go with. It's nice, it's easy to write. Just go with this. Oh wait, can you guys see anything on screen?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Sorry, I removed the cable. Hold on 1 second. I'm so sorry. 1 second. There. Now you guys can see. Prita, go with this. It's okay. It doesn't matter which school you write.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Varsha?
So actually, I had a doubt. You said about the duration, so I'm still confused.
About
And
what?
the like when there's like long duration, like 2-3 days camp or picnic.
Okay.
Like,
so you're confused
or
about
like
what?
a summer camp too.
First of all, Varsha, that topic is not gonna come in the boards. All right, camp things don't come, but in the school prelims, maybe they'll ask you. So let's say you've written a creative heading for the camp. You've written the actual heading for the camp. Damn it. So, you know those embarrassing moments, no, when a teacher is trying to do something great and then unka popet hota hai because unko tech aata nahi hai. तो अब ऐसा हुआ है कि मेरा जो Apple का pencil है ना, flex नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मतलब genuinely वो Apple का ही pencil है, वो charged नहीं है. तो मैं ऐसा टैप कर रहा है स्क्रीन पे और तुम लोगों को दिखाई नहीं रहा है बिकॉज मैं लिख नहीं पा रहा हूँ. तो अब मेरे को ओरली सिखाना पड़ेगा. होल्ड कर 1 सेकंड. मैं स्क्रीन ऑफ कर रहा एज इन शेयरिंग ऑफ कर रहा. हाँ, सो कहाँ गया मैं? इधर है. किसने क्वेश्चन पूछा था मेरे को ये? हाँ, बच्चा, when you are writing about the camp, right, the creative heading that you are putting is the heading of the registration of the camp. In any other event, when you're putting, let's take 2 examples for now. One is an inter music festival and one is a camp. The inter music fest ka jo on, from and at hai, it's the details of the music competition. That's the day on which the music competition is happening. That's the time when the competition is happening. But for the camp, when you put on, from and at, your on is for the registration date of the camp. The actual camp dates will be in that content below. Did that make sense?
So you mean on, from, at during the registration dates, or like the registration venue or the like?
On is the registration date. From is the registration time period. At is the place where they can come and register, not your camp location. At is the place, it's a classroom. So where do you put in the camp details? You've already mentioned where the camp is happening in the actual heading, like camp to some national park. So that location is already put in. Now the rest of the details you put in the content paragraph below. Okay, this camp is a 5-day camp from so and so date to so and so date. Further details will be given once you register. Yes. I'm assuming people whose hands are up are people whose doubts are still not clear, like Bhavya, because you already asked me something.
Yes,
or
sir,
did you forget to take your hand down? Yes, you have another doubt.
Yes, sir. Sir, all these things should be in a box, no?
Yes, it's neater. It's no rule. But if you put it in a box, it's always neat. So put it in a box.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sumit?
यस सर जैसे आपने अभी पोदार का बोला, मतलब शॉर्ट फॉर्म, मतलब छोटा पड़ता है लिखने में, तो उसका पूरा पोदार इंटरनेशनल स्कूल लिखने का या सिर्फ पोदार स्कूल लिखने का?
सिर्फ पोदार स्कूल लिखने का. सुमित, मैटर नहीं करता तू कौन सा स्कूल लिखता है. कोई चेक नहीं करने वाला कि पोदार स्कूल है कि पोदार इंटरनेशनल स्कूल है. ये लोग फैक्ट्स नहीं चेक कर रहे, वो लोग चेक करें कि तेरे को इंग्लिश आती कि नहीं आती है. तो तू पोदार स्कूल लिख के आ जा, you'll get marks.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
No problem, beta. Pragya?
Sir, is writing on, from, and at necessary?
Very necessary. Bacha, someone already asked this. I told you, if you don't put an on, from, and at, you lose marks. Now that depends, Pragya. Are you sticking with format 1? Because this was format 1. And if your school has been training you for format 2 for the last 2 years, that means you're not using the words on, from, and at. You're using the words date, time, and venue. But in either case, you have to put in those words. Those words are necessary.
Okay, sir.
Does this mean that the 99 people on screen right now are well versed with notice? Like, there is absolutely no doubt. and everyone's alive. No one
Yes,
fell
sir.
dead. 20 minutes हो गया
Yes,
काका.
sir.
47 minutes हो
Yes,
गए.
sir.
रुक जा. Sir, is it necessary to draw a box? All right. What Sumit said, no, someone said, should I put a box? And this guy Aditya is texting and asking me, is it necessary to draw a box? So no, it's not necessary. But yes, you should, because presentation is always a good thing. कर लेना एक box से ink थोड़ी ना waste हो रहा है. Pencil से line बनानी है तेरे को. Begin a new question on a new page. Never put your email and notice together on the same page. Big mistake. Once your notice is over, flip the page, begin your email on a new page. Put your notice in a box. It looks neat. Clear, Chan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. अब ना मेरे को करना था बहुत कुछ तुम्हारे साथ. मेरे को सिखाना है ईमेल भी और मेरे को सिखाना है ऐसे राइटिंग भी, बट मेरा डिवाइस नहीं काम कर रहा है. सो मैं सिखाता हूं ऐसे. ईमेल में बाद में करवा लेगा तुम लोग, ठीक है? ऐसे समझ ले, ऐसे में स्कोर कैसे करता है. यू हैव 5 टॉपिक्स दैट आर कमिंग, ऑलराइट? एक तो यार मेरे को पसंद नहीं है कैमरास ऑफ है यार अभी भी तुम लोग के यार. ये यार
मैं बताऊं क्या टॉपिक्स कैसे रहेंगे.
तेरे को ऑलरेडी लीक हो गया पेपर, बता मेरे को.
नहीं, लीक नहीं हुआ, मेरे को मालूम है. एक रहेगा डिस्क्रिप्टिव,
अरे
एक रहेगा
कार्टून, वो तो मेरे को भी मालूम है. मेरे को जनरल नॉलेज क्विज स्टोरी चल रहा है, तू मेरे को टेस्ट कर रहा है यार. तू एक मिनट रुक जा पहले. आयरा, अनुष्का, सानिध्य, जुसैना, आशा, बेटा मैं 5 तक गिनूंगा, मेरे को सारे कैमरा होना चाहिए वरना बाहर. मजाक नहीं कर रहा हूँ. 5 मतलब 5 ही होता है. हाँ बस. सानिध्य, आदि,
हाँ सर.
तू जो बोल रहा है वो यही है ना कि एक डिस्क्रिप्टिव होता है, एक आर्गुमेंटेटिव होता है, एक नैरेटिव होता है, एक स्टोरी होता है, एक पिक्चर कॉम्पोजिशन होता है.
हाँ.
तुम्हें प्राउड फील हो रहा है मेरे पे?
नहीं सर, मतलब ऐसे
नहीं हो रहा है. मैं अभी
अरे
तो बोला कौन से 5 टॉपिक्स होते हैं.
ऐसा नहीं है सर, मैं ऐसे बता रहा हूँ कि कौन कौन सा
अरे मैं
रहेगा.
मजाक कर रहा हूँ. तू नर्वस बहुत है यार, तू चिल कर. करेक्ट है तू. ओके, रेडी, गुड जॉब. Everyone knows this, that there are these 5 topics. What people don't know is the difference between these 5 topics. Like what these 5 topics look like 5 topics to you. You don't understand what's the difference between a narrative and a story. Does anyone know what the difference is? Can someone just raise your hand and show off right now? Tell me that's I know what the difference is. Who knows the difference between a story and a narrative?
स्टोरी में अपन लोग क्या एक पूरा ऐसा क्या एक अलग से हम लोग स्टोरी बनाते हैं, और नैरेटिव मतलब अपना एक जो इंसिडेंट जो हुआ तो.
पर अगर इंसिडेंट हुआ ही नहीं है तेरे साथ तो यस. वर्षा,
तो स्टोरी हो जाएगा फिर.
वर्षा,
So story is about characters. There should be too much of characters. Whereas narrative is about our life experience. We
that's
are
what he's trying
narrating
to
our
say,
own
but then
story.
broken. His Hindi was broken, but he was saying the same thing. He's saying a story is a story. It's a figment of your imagination, but a narrative is something that's happened with you. That's not the difference, guys. The basic difference between a story and a narrative are 3 basic differences. All right. Your first difference is your story is imaginative, which means anything can happen in your story. You can fall from 40th floor and you can still survive it. In a realistic narrative event, you have to sound real. If you're jumping from the 40th floor, your essay will be incomplete because you're going to die. Okay. So in a narrative story, you can't jump from the 40th floor. In a story, you can jump from a floor. That's the first difference. Your second difference that kids think is a difference. It's not. People say a narrative is first person point of view and story is not first person. That's not true. A story can also be first person point of view. But the difference is a story can be first, second or third person point of view. जिनको ये नहीं पता मैं बता दूं. First person point of view मतलब I did this, I saw this, I was running. That's first person point of view. Second person, he or she was doing this. And third person point of view is when you're talking about characters like Ravi and Shavi were doing this, things like that. So these are 3 perspectives. In a story, you can be anything. You can have any point of view, but in the narrative, it's always first point of view. And the last difference that many kids are not aware of, in a narrative essay, you cannot be someone beyond your age. You have to be a person who's 14 to 15-year-old. Okay. So never start your narrative with, I was sitting in my office chairs and reminiscing about my school days. Let me tell you what happened in that one occasion. No, you get 0. Because in a narrative, you are a school kid. But in a story, you can be anybody. You can be an old lady. You can be a small boy. You can be a dog. You can be an amoeba. You can be a vomit. You can be whatever you want in a story. All right. That's the basic difference. Keep that aside. You have descriptive that comes in. Majority of you love doing descriptive essays. Simple reason being the topics are leaked already. Like you already know what can come in a descriptive essay. A morning walk. And they'll change the characters. Like your grandfather took you on a morning walk. Your grandmother took you on a morning walk. Your watchman took you on a morning walk. That's called kidnapping, by the way. But, or someone else took you on a morning walk. But someone took you on a morning walk. That's the most cliche topic that can come. So what you're thinking is, so I'm very clever. I've prepared for this. No, you've not. Your descriptive essay needs an obscene amount of vocabulary to come in from you. All right. So if you're somebody with great vocabulary, and it doesn't mean Shashi Tharoor vocabulary, you can't write words where a teacher will have to actually pause reading your essay and look at the dictionary and search for the meanings. That's not appealing at all. It should be the right amount of difficulty. It's mostly adjectives that I'm talking about. You need to come up with sights, sounds, senses, imageries. Use those. If you're able to use that correctly, by all means, go for descriptive, because it is scoring if you are using your adjectives correctly. But I know about my kids in Mumbai, kids who study with me. These kids have been trained for maths and science from 7th grade, 6th grade. They don't focus much on English language or literature. So they are not used to having good vocabulary. So I always advise my kids to not go for descriptive. Now, I don't know what your background is. So if you are somebody who has a strong vocabulary, good adjectives, kitty bank of words, go for descriptive. I would avoid it. Argumentative essays are the most tempting essays to attempt, because when you look at the topic, you're like, oh my God, I have to argue. Like, tere andar ka rebel jagta hai. You're like, I can do this. This topic is woke. I can do this topic. Big mistake. Because in an argumentative essay, you need at least 5 decent arguments. All right. So the first paragraph is a general introduction of the topic. You're speaking about the topic overall. At the end of that paragraph, the line should be, my stand is that I'm for or against, choose one, this topic. Then the next 4 paragraphs, you should have 4 arguments and elaborate these arguments. And you are trying to justify why you are choosing this stand, as in whether you're for or against. If you feel that's too much headache for you, avoid it. Picture compositions are the most misinterpreted topics. You know, there's a picture of someone feeding something and someone will interpret it some way. One person will interpret it another way. Someone will purely just describe the contents of the picture. It's a mess. Avoid doing it. ICSE also discourages people from attempting the picture composition. That leaves you with 2 topics, narrative and story. I think all of you are born storytellers. And I know this because you guys lie a lot. All right. The minute your parents ask you something, you guys have a story ready. Now that's innate. We practice this. So we know lies. The minute you know lies, you know creativity. Now all you have to do is put that creativity to good use. So story सबके पास है. तेरे को उसको यूज करना है. कैसे करेगा? दिमाग में सोच कि तू 2 चीजें में से एक कर रहा है. या तो तू एक वीडियो गेम डिजाइन कर रहा है, या तो तू एक मूवी डायरेक्ट कर रहा है. वही चीज तुझे करनी है ऐसे के अंदर. So first, the minute you read the topic, think in your head. What is my vision? If I am to design a game, where is this game taking place? Is it happening in a classroom? Is it happening in a warehouse? Is it happening inside an elevator? Is it happening in a haunted house? Is it happening inside a mansion? Is it happening in a city? Is it happening on the roads? Think of that vision, set it aside. That becomes your setting. So now you have the setting of the story. Keep it aside. Now your main task is to hold the hand of your teacher and lead her into your imaginary world. Your teacher should also be seeing your vision, right? Because there are what, 98 of you right now on screen. And if I ask you guys to close your eyes and imagine a house, each of you will have a different imagination in your head, right? No one's going to think of the same thing. No one's going to think of the same house. Everyone's got a different house in their mind. So everyone has a different vision. Your job is to take that teacher or the person who's reading your paper inside your vision. Sorted. You've done that. You managed to describe that house. Now what? Now I need characters. How many characters should I have? So I have to, if I'm designing a video game, I need to have at least 2 characters. It's a multiplayer game. So let's have 3 characters. You should never exceed 3 characters. 3 characters is a max. The minute you try to make more characters than 3 characters, तू बड़ा goof up कर रहा है. Because तू track नहीं रख पाएगा. तो हमारे अंदर क्या nature होता है कि अपन सारे friends को include करने की try कर रहा है. So मेरे ना स्कूल में ना सर 10 लोगों का gang है. मैं ना सबके नाम लिखूंगा मुन्नू चुन्नू चुन्नू पुन्नू. हम सब लोग है ना एक पिकनिक पे गए थे. अबे नहीं करना है वैसे. तू कोई भी 3 को सिलेक्ट कर जो तेरे बेस्ट फ्रेंड्स है. उन तीनों का नाम लिख. ठीक है. अब मेरे पास 3 कैरेक्टर्स है. मेरे पास एक लोकेशन है. अब मेरे को कैरेक्टर्स को डिस्क्राइब करना. हर एक कैरेक्टर का एक ट्रेट होगा ना. एक बंदा है जो लिम्प करके चलता है. एक बंदा है जो बार बार कभी लाइफ में टोपी नहीं उतारता है. He's always got a scratchy head because it's always sweaty. One person's always in the hoodie. One person's hand is all tattooed up. So add 1 or 2 characteristics about each character. All right. Now you have your characters, you have your setting. What's missing? The plot. What is your plot? So is it a story where something good is happening, something bad is happening? Is it a depressing story? Is it a happy story? Is it a motivational story? Think of the one-line plot for your story. Most of the boys love writing gory stuff. So they end up writing things where someone's head is splattered on the ground, brain particles all over, eyeball dangling, you felt something squishy on your shoe and you picked up and you're like, someone's kidney was all like hanging dry. You witnessed an accident. So guys love doing this. You're like, oh, wow, it's so awesome. A teacher wouldn't like reading that because maybe that teacher has had an accident in a house and your essay has just brought back a lot of bad memories. All right. So avoid anything that's gory. A teacher who's checking 80 papers in a day wants to read something that's happy, something that's positive, something that's emotional, something that's motivational, inspirational. So think of a plot line that's positive. Once your plot line is ready, your characters are ready, your setting is ready. Now all you need is a structure. Think, how do I start my story? Now I know that A Face in the Dark begins with the description of Mr. Oliver and then the school. So Mr. Oliver is walking. That's a character is introduced. Old Man of the Bridge character's description. But Horse and Two Goats is a description of the place. Kritam is a village. Hearts and Ants is the setting again. DNM Express or BND Express, whatever that express is. But at Denver, sorry, whatever that express is. Sorry, not my exam. But the point is, think how a story should begin. Think how you want your essay to begin. Do you want to begin with the climax? Because that's amazing. You can begin with the climax. You can say, I ran and reached the edge of the cliff. I had no more place to run. I looked behind me. Let me take you to where it all started. Then go into a flashback. Then lead it back to that climax. Don't forget that you actually started with the climax. So your last paragraph should be a conclusion of that climax. So there are different ways to start an essay. Structure it all. All right. All of this that you're doing is called planning. That plan is very important. What most kids tend to do is they don't plan. They just start writing. Then they stop writing after 2 paragraphs and then they start thinking, okay, where do I take my essay from here? Now that's why your essay has so many loopholes because there's a gap in between. So think first, think long, think hard, and then begin to write. You manage to do this, I assure you, you'll at least get 14 out of 20. Ab 14 se 18 kaise jaane ka? By following this one rule. KIS. KISS. Keep it simple. English ko complicate nahi karna. Nobody is seeing how great your English prowess is. What people are looking at is, are you making any grammatical errors while writing these sentences? So keep the sentences short. Keep the sentences simple. Avoid grammatical mistakes. Avoid repetitive stuff. Don't keep repeating your sentences. So I've already read one line and then I'm reading something. I'm like, dude, this guy's just repeating stuff all over again. It's the same thing. His plot is not moving ahead. That's not appealing. All right. So keep it simple. Keep the flow going and you're okay. All right. Someone's unmuted. Just mute yourself.
तो भाई मेरा ये आवाज निकलाने लगा के देख रहा है क्यों बोला ना एक सेकंड
तू ठीक है ना
हाँ ठीक हो भाई सर
वो बीच में हम लोग को कुछ अजीब सा माहौल सुनाई दिया तेरा
हाँ पता है वो चिल्ला देता उसके ऊपर वो
अरे तू म्यूट करना तो फिर रेड बटन हाँ यस
So I have a doubt. Can you clear it, please?
Of course, I can hear you. Tell me.
So, in suppose if an example I'm giving of an essay, like the essay is more of like a autobiography. For example, like it is a story as well as an autobiography, and the question is something like you need to write a story from the perspective of something which is not in case of humans, or suppose it's describing the life of a simply pillow and a conversation or something.
Those topics don't come. Your topics are going to be super interesting. ICSE topics, if you want to get a hang of what sort of topics come, just go on CISC.org. That's the official website. Go check last 10 years board papers. The formats have changed. I know you're writing a 40-mark paper, not an 80-mark paper, but the topics will always be the same. So go take a look at what sort of topics ICSE asks. So you'll get an idea. Schools tend to hype up the topics and give you complicated stuff, which is why kids are expecting something complicated in the boards. But actually the board paper is very simple. So practice the right thing. Go look at all the topics that have been taken so far. You won't find a single topic that's anywhere close to what you just told me, beta. No autobiographical stuff comes in ICSE.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yashaswini.
So you told like in narrative, you have to be like in the current age, like you have to be a school student. But
Yes.
can you be like imaginative in that? Like I am a grandma. so
Yashaswini, if the topic is narrate an incident where you saved someone's life by running into a building that had caught fire. Now, you've never done that. So what, you won't attempt it? Of course you'll attempt it. So I'm not saying it has to be a real story. I'm saying it has to be realistic. So it should sound real. So if you are a kid running into a building, why are you running? Like, why aren't the fire brigades there? Why aren't some grown-ups running? What triggered you to run into that building? So you must be really desperate to run into the building. Then be real. Talk about your fears. Talk about you getting burnt. Talk about you being charred. So then talk about these things. So that's realistic. All right. Talk about you losing a hand because a hot burning pillar fell on your arm and you almost severed your arm. So things like that. Now that's realistic, you know. The only thing that separates you from an 8th grader or a 9th grader who's also doing the same set of topics is maturity. Always remember, you guys are in 10th grade. Always remember that if I were to read your essay in front of the whole crowd on Instagram, will people make fun of you? Or will people be like, yaar, this girl is super mature. So तेरा ऐसे mature होना चाहिए. अगर तेरा ऐसे तुझे ही kiddish लग रहा है, तो तू कहीं गलत जा रही है. So judge yourself properly. If you feel proud of your work, you've done a good job. Then don't worry about your teachers.
So
yes.
So narrative essay में मतलब first line of the essay can be like in exclamations, like some kind of reaction or anything.
Yeah, you're talking about starting from the climax. You can. Like, I was shocked to see what was happening in front of me. And then you start off. You can. Sweeney.
Hi, sir. So
Hi,
in
beta.
our school, the teacher told us that when we write a story, if we ended like I woke up and then it was a dream, then the entire essay is scrapped out. Is that true?
That's not true. That's the rule that ICSE used to follow once upon a time, and teachers ask you to avoid it because it's the most cliche style. Like, everybody does that. Kids of your age get very excited with the concept of cliffhangers also. They're like, so I want to leave a cliffhanger. It's not appealing. People think it's appealing. It's not. All right. So avoid those things. Like, I woke up, it's a dream. It's a very dry way of ending. Doesn't mean your essay will be scraped off. Teachers say that in order to discourage you from doing that. But ऐसा कोई rule नहीं है.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Welcome, beta. Sumit.
Yes, sir. सर आपने जैसे क्लाइमेक्स वाला बोला तो कुछ टीचर्स को अट्रैक्ट करने के लिए कुछ आप अंडरलाइन ऐसे कुछ कर सकते हैं उसमें स्टार्टिंग में?
अंडरलाइन नहीं कर सकते बेटा, उसका कोई मार्क्स नहीं मिलता है. तू एक लिरिक्स के साथ स्टार्ट कर सकता है, कोटेशन के साथ स्टार्ट कर सकता है, बट चीजें अंडरलाइन करके कोई मार्क्स नहीं मिलती है. मैं तो अपने बच्चों को बोलता हूँ, तेरे को कोई फेवरेट सॉन्ग पता ना, तेरा कोई फेवरेट आर्टिस्ट है, तो उसका लाइन कोटेशन की तरह डाल दे, बोल माय ग्रेट ग्रैंडमदर वंस टोल्ड मी, और फिर एक कोटेशन डाल दे एक सॉन्ग का. तेरी टीचर को पता ही नहीं है कि तू लिरिक्स डाल रहा है. बाय द टाइम शी गोज होम एंड लिसंस टू द सॉन्ग इन द शावर, शी इज ऑलरेडी करेक्टेड योर पेपर. सो डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट. तू ऐसे सब भी डाल सकता है, सॉन्ग लिरिक्स डाल दे. जो भी चीज तेरे को इंस्पायर करती है, जो भी चीज तूने कहीं पढ़ी है, तेरे को अच्छा लगता है, वो चीज डाल दे. If you guys want to improve your writing skills, I would advise you guys, most of you are on Instagram, obviously that's how you guys are here. So if you are on Instagram, follow pages like Terribly Tiny Tales. That's a good page. Or Two Timer. It's called Two Liner or Two Timer. I'm not very sure what the page is called. And then there's something called Word Porn, but I think they had to change it to Word Prom or Word Pom because porn is obviously not allowed. But these are all good pages. When you follow these pages, they have some good content. Like, it's short stuff, but you can get some inspiration from these lines. These are lines you can use. Most of it is emo stuff, like they've all had heartbreaks. I think admins of these pages are all sad people, but kuch cheeze achhi cheeze hai usme se. Read Chicken Soup for the Soul. That's a very good book. Almost all cities in India have the book. कोई भी रद्दी वाले के पास जाते को मिल जाएगा, Amazon पे मिल जाएगा. Chicken Soup for the Teenage Soul. These are the sort of stories you guys should be aiming at writing. Okay, it's good stuff. Yes, Adi.
सर अपन लोग थोड़ा ऐसा, मतलब मैं ना जब पहले 9th में था ना, तो ना एक ऐसा स्टोरी का टाइटल ऐसा कुछ दिया था हम लोगों को, लॉस्ट ऑब्जेक्ट के बारे में, ठीक है। तो मैंने ना उसके ऊपर थोड़ा सा ऐसा अवेंजर वाला तड़का डाल के, मतलब एक आदमी है क्या यूएस चला जाता है, इंडिया से एक आदमी आता
डाउट है ना बेटा कहीं पूरी स्टोरी में कि तुम्हें ये स्टोरी सुना रहा है?
नहीं, मतलब ऐसे ही थोड़ा थोड़ा अपना, मतलब ऐसे डाल सकते हैं ना, मतलब जैसे कि पूरी स्टोरी नहीं सुना रहा हूँ, थोड़ा ऐसा प्लॉट बता रहा हूँ। मतलब एक आदमी इंडिया आता है, फिर सॉरी यूएस, इंडिया से यूएसए आ जाता है, और वो अवेंजर्स, उस टाइम अवेंजर्स वाला जो रहता है न्यूयॉर्क वाला, तो वो उसमें फंस जाता है, तो उसी का ऐसा दिखाया मैंने, लिखा के रखा है। तो मतलब ऐसे भी कर सकते हैं ना।
तो सच्ची वाला बोलो, सच्ची वाला मुझे समझ में नहीं आया तू क्या बोला, बट सुन सब लोग जाएंगे ना, उसके बाद भी मैं पेशेंटली रुकेगा 5 मिनट तेरे लिए और तेरे से बात करेगा। तू 2 मिनट होल्ड पे रख, क्योंकि मुझे जेन्युइनली समझा नहीं, मुझे वापस एक बार सुनना पड़ेगा। सबको जाने दे, इनके डाउट्स नहीं है, फिर मैं तेरे को आराम से हैंडल करता हूँ, सुनता हूँ मैं तेरा डाउट, ठीक है? मैं कहीं नहीं जाएगा। आयरा।
Sir, can you give some tips on how we should not exceed the word limit?
Yeah,
Because
beta, planning. The way you cannot exceed the word limit is if you plan your essay properly, bacho, and practice it. Your generation has lost the art of writing, bacha. It's not your fault. I'm not saying you guys are wrong. You haven't written in the last 2 years. So obviously writing is going to be difficult for you. So start practicing. And you know, when your teachers make you write, it's a task. You hate writing. So I'm saying don't make your teachers do it. तू रात को सोने से पहले आधा एक पेज लिख दे, फिर एक पूरा पेज लिख, फिर एवरेज नंबर ऑफ वर्ड्स काउंट कर। एक लाइन में नॉर्मल हैंडराइटिंग में 8 to 10 वर्ड्स होते हैं ऑन एन एवरेज, आई एम सेइंग, unless you're somebody with long, like you write big fonts and stuff. Otherwise, on an average, 8 words. 8 words to 10 words is 10 lines, 100 words. So 20 lines, 200 words. Your word limit is 300 to 350. So 1 to 1.5 sides. If you learn how to formulate a story within that span, you will not make a mistake in the board exams. So in order to reach there, you have to practice at least minimum 3 essays तो लिख लेना चाहिए अब और अप्रैल एंड के बीच में। मेरे को पता है कुछ टीचर्स तेरे को बोलेंगे 6-6, 7-7 essays लिख, बट ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है। तू 3 essays लिख, बट परफेक्ट essays लिख, तेरे को आइडिया आ जाएगा।
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
वेलकम बेटा। अवंतिका।
Sir,
एक सेकंड अवंतिका, एक सेकंड। People are waiting out of respect. Let me just clarify this, because it's 9:35. It's time for most kids to eat dinner and stuff. Guys, I'm not teaching anything beyond the essay as I've spoken. I will conduct a class all over again. Now that I know you guys are interested and you guys need help, I'll take many lectures more. We have time until April end. I will cover as much as I can. I loved having you guys over here. I don't know if this helped you or not, but those who have no doubts in essays right now need not stay. You guys can go. I won't feel bad. Everyone can exit. Stay safe. Take care. Only those people who have doubts can stay back. I'm here only. You guys, whoever wants to leave can leave. All right. Love you guys. Yes. Ab bol beta. Avantika.
Sir, in case of writing a story, it gets very difficult to, make a plot in that limited time. So any suggestions for that?
Yeah. Why are you saying that you have limited time, beta? How much time do you write? How much time do you think you'll need to write a notice? Average, I'm asking you.
1-2 minutes.
No, that's being over ambitious. Hold on, one second. There's a delivery call. Hello. हाँ बोलिए ना। हाँ अरे सर 1 मिनट, सॉरी 1 मिनट, मैं क्लास ले रहा था बच्चों का। 1 मिनट आप होल्ड कीजिए। 927-682 682 क्या 927682. अरे 927682 6 digits हुआ ना यार. 682 682. Thank you. Good night. अरे बैंक का ओटीपी नहीं है जो लोग हैक बैक करने का सोच रहे हैं कि सर ने बैंक का ओटीपी दिया. तू बोल अवंतिका. हाँ ओके. That's being over ambitious. 1-2 minutes में बेटा तू एक हेडिंग लिखेगी सिर्फ. For an email or a notice, no, your notice is going to take you 10 minutes. Your email will take you 10 minutes. Your letter will take you 10 minutes. 15 पकड़ ले. कितना टाइम हो गया? 10 plus 10? 10 plus 10? 20. 20 plus 15?
35.
35. So how much time do I have more?
5 minutes.
Maybe another
30
25
minutes? Half an hour?
Yeah.
That's more than enough to write an essay, beta. 10 minutes to plan, 10 minutes to write. I still have 5 minutes to check the paper.
Okay.
That's if it's a 1 hour paper, but I'm pretty sure ICSE will give you at least 1 hour, 15 minutes, 1.5 hours. You will get time. मैं बोल रहा हूँ 1 hour में अगर करना तो भी काफी है.
Okay, sir.
For any of this, Avantika, you need to practice better. If you don't practice, you won't know. Yes, Arya.
Yes, hi. So my question is, will they deduct any like marks if we fluctuate between tenses? Like, you know?
Yes. You're only supposed to stick to past tense, bacha. When you're writing an essay, the only tense you have to maintain is the past tense.
What if I'm writing like a narrative essay then?
Past tense. Any essay
Like
can be written in past tense. If it's a narrative essay, it's past tense. What tense would you write it in?
Like present, because if
Why?
I'm
How? Your present tense is actually you're writing, I am walking on the street as I'm talking. And it's very difficult to walk and talk because I'm also trying to write an essay at the same time. Let me tell you what's happening. That's not possible, right? That's present tense. Past tense would be, I was writing a book yesterday when something very strange happened with me. But yesterday is still past tense. So you're writing in past tense.
okay.
Excuse me, sir. Narrative essay should be in first person narration.
Yes, I is first person, Sanadhya. Like anything that you start with I is first person. Kasturi.
Yes, sir. Hi.
Hi.
In the conclusion, while writing the last line, can we end it up with suspense? Like it depends on the teacher how
You're calling it a cliffhanger. So you want, it's an open-ended thing. Like you want the teacher to assume what happened.
Yes.
You have to be very witty when you're trying to achieve that. So if you're good at it, go ahead, beta. I can't be the judge of it because I don't know how you write. So if you think you're good, then why not?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Ria?
Hi, sir. Sir, do we have titles for each essay? Like,
Yes.
do we need to put a
Yes.
title?
You need to put a title yourself. They don't give you a title. A title is a must. You have to put a title.
Sir, for every type of essay or only
For
narrative?
every type of essay, it's recommended. And it's very easy to do that. Even if it's an argumentative essay, just put in your opinion as a title.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Title is important. Mahima.
Yes, sir. I want to ask, like, can you give me an example of argumentative essay?
Yeah. Life without internet is difficult. Give your views for or against this. That's an argumentative essay.
Okay, sir.
Kasuri, you have one more doubt, beta?
No, sir. No, sir.
Hands down, beta.
Okay.
Azan.
Yes, sir. Hi.
Hi.
So I wanted to know what points to keep in mind while writing the introduction and conclusion of an essay.
Of an essay? Depends on the
If
topic.
I say descriptive.
Your introduction would be setting up the tone of the essay, your introduction, and then you start with the description. Your conclusion would be, it was a wonderful day. I hope to have memories like this quite often. Or it was an eventful day. Let's say you're talking about a day when Mumbai was flooded or your city was flooded or you experienced riots or you experienced something else. You have a memory you want to talk about. That memory ko tu describe kar raha. Or you visited your uncle's old house and you are asked to describe an attic or you're asked to describe a room. So At the end of the day, you can simply say they don't make houses like this anymore, and this is a memory that will stick with me forever. So your ending really depends on what topic you're attempting.
Also, another doubt, in an argumentative essay, what if you're contradicting yourself, like while writing for?
Then you are somebody who doesn't listen to Sesh sir when he's teaching you something and asking you not to attempt an argumentative essay or a descriptive essay, because that is bound to happen. Most of the kids end up contradicting themselves. You end up losing marks for each argument, which is a vile argument or a stupid argument or a childish argument. You'll be losing marks. Also, teachers who are checking your papers are not angels. They all have egos. They all have opinions. And if you're somebody who is writing something which goes against their principles or opinions, they will not remember to be ethical about it. Somewhere they're going to be biased and they'll end up giving you less marks. So don't get into controversies like that. Avoid things that can lead to trouble. Because one of the biggest disadvantages of a board paper is you don't get to see where you've gone wrong. So it's always going to be a mystery for you. You'll always keep wondering, where could I have gone wrong? So don't do that.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome, beta. Heath. Adi, मेरे को तू दिख रहा है. Patience रख दो मैं. Tear out ये सारे करूँगा. Heath.
Sir, can you give a brief about the title of the essay, what you said, because I'm listening it for the first time.
Brief. There's no brief, bacha. Whatever topic you're attempting, just give me a title. Give me a random topic. I'll show you. Give me a topic. Give me a topic.
So your voice is cracking. Can you repeat?
Your voice is cracking. My internet's also.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm kidding. Sorry. Give me a topic so I can teach you how to write a title.
Sir,
तू सोच, मैं हूं 2 मिनट टॉपिक सोच. स्कूल ने कुछ ना कुछ तो टॉपिक दिया होगा ना. मैं तो दिखाता हूँ टाइटल कैसे बनता है. तू एक कोई भी रैंडम टॉपिक दे मेरे को. तब तक
Excuse me, sir.
आप प्रत्युष.
Sir, today my teacher has selected me for a composition contest. Sir, the topic is Bharat Ek Khoj. The teacher has asked me to write about 1500 to 2000 words, sir. So I have started like this. Is it okay? Ponderous history books have told us about.
Pratyush, one minute. Sir. Sorry, one second. Just to wrap my head around this. You're talking about an English essay.
Yes, sir.
Whose
the topic is Bharat Ek Khoj. Khoj.
One hunt. Like hunt for Bharat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. India's discovery.
That's an English essay topic.
India's discovery. Yes, sir.
Where are you from?
Sir, Patna.
Okay. Abul.
So I've started like this. Is it okay? A ponderous history book have told us about Indian civilization and its highs and lows. India is a land bounded by oceans on 3 sides, and the mighty Himalayas provides protection to western flank. India is a land dominated by swift flowing rivers like the mighty Ganges, Brahmaputra, Narmada, and Godavari, which provides precious water to its inhabitants, which has provided tremendous agricultural growth and prosperity, which made India one of the richest civilizations in the world. Nature has blessed India in a unique way by providing diversity across unique way by providing.
प्रत्युष, तुम्हें वो स्टार्ट ऐसे किया, तेरा एंड का होता है भाई. तुम्हें वो 2000 वर्ड्स पढ़ के सुनाने वाला अभी बैठे हैं.
So I have written just about 150 to 200 words, sir. One paragraph.
It sounds like I'm reading a Wikipedia page, which is a compliment. I mean, सही से लिखा तूने. Interesting sound हो रहा है. मेरे interest का नहीं है, because I don't like descriptive essays, but I think it makes perfect sense. But this can't be for your exams, right? I'm pretty sure they're asking you to write it for some creative writing.
Yes, sir.
That's okay. It sounds good. Very boring. The topic is boring. But
yes, sir. Bharat Ek Khoj.
नहीं है ज़्यादा. तेरे को सिर्फ एक informative essay लिखना है. तो क्या ही लिख सकता है तू?
Yes, sir.
है ना?
Yes,
so, but one tip over here is, Pratyush, when they're talking Bharat Ek Khoj in today's day and age, you can incorporate different elements and different cultures and different diversities that make up India. Talk about that. How the Gen Z sees India. That's what you can talk about. So it doesn't become another page from Wikipedia. A teacher doesn't feel that you're just copying stuff and writing it from the internet. So try to make it more personal. That's what I would do. My advice to anybody who's writing a good essay out there, who wants the essay to be good, is to make it relatable. The teacher should be checking your essay and feel like, oh yeah, this has happened with me also. Yeah, even I experienced this. Make it relatable. The teacher will enjoy it. All right. Yes. MB.
Sir, about the title of essay, we can write it just in the middle and then start the essay, or is there any rule to write it on the left side or
नहीं,
the right
सेंटर में
side?
लिखना होता है बेटा. वही जो तू मिडिल बोल रही है वो सेंटर में टाइटल होता है, फिर तू ऐसे स्टार्ट कर. सलवा.
Thank you, sir.
वेलकम बेटा. वो मम्मी को बोल रही है डिस्टर्ब नहीं करने, 2 मिनट बोल.
Sir, actually, we have this topic in a book. Take care of the pens and pounds will take care of themselves. It's really confusing.
Take care of what?
Take care of the pens and the pounds will take care of themselves.
Take care of pens.
Pens. P-E-N-C-E.
Pens. मतलब पैसे. Take care of the pennies and the pounds will take care of themselves. The topic means if you focus on small things, bigger things will happen in life. So don't try to grow big at the same time. Always start small. Take baby steps. That's what the topic means. So save. Don't underestimate smaller achievements. Each small achievement leads to a bigger achievement. Jessica.
Yes, sir. So I have an interrogation that when I'm actually writing an essay and I want to mention a quote, and I don't remember actually who said that. So
You can
can we
simply say a
write?
wise man once said.
Okay, so
Or
can
I
we write
read
it?
somewhere. You can say I once came across a quote. You don't have to mention who's written it.
Okay, so you mean it does not show that you're not knowing much about it?
It's not a general knowledge paper, better. It's an English paper. It doesn't matter. Like you sometimes things just pop into your head. So you can say, when I came across this person, a thought just popped into my head. I read it somewhere in one of the books. You must have heard of this. And then you can talk. Your paper can be a conversational paper. You know, the teacher should feel like she's reading and relating to it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Welcome, beta. 1 second. So all of these are repetitive doubts. So Ria, you still have one more doubt, beta? Or is it like
One doubt, sir.
Poocho, bacha.
Sir, can we address the person directly? Like, can we say you must know or anything like that?
In an essay?
Yes, sir.
You're talking to the reader.
Okay, sir. That's it. Thank you.
Normal. Avantika.
Sir, I have 4 doubts actually. One is how will be the para structure of a story, like how many paras and stuff.
There's no rule. So if you are writing like, let's say 2 sides or 1.5 sides, ideally it should be 5 paragraphs or 4 paragraphs. Your paragraph change happens each time there's a change in the setting of the story. So.
Okay.
But there's no rule.
Okay, sir. And according to you, narrative or story, which one should we write?
Both are interesting. Depends on what topic you find more appealing in the exam.
Okay, sir. And suppose there's a movie and I want to like write my story according to that movie, but with some changes. Can I do that?
You can do that if I don't realize what the movie is. So if I'm looking at the story and I'm like, oh my God, she copied Tarak Mehta. And I know that you've just copied something from the TV or some movie, you'll lose marks. So if you notice, these topics usually have the word original short story. That means you have to come up with it. So you can draw inspirations from that movie, but it can't exactly be the same movie plot.
Okay, sir. And in the story, we will use like speeches in quotation marks.
Dialogues?
Yeah.
Yes, but don't exceed more than 2 to 3 dialogues. Like then it becomes overdone. You can put in 1 or 2 dialogues here and there between characters. Am I there?
Sir. Thank you.
Okay, you're there. Yeah, okay, great. Salva, you still have a doubt, bacha?
So how do we start a argumentative debate?
Introduce the topic. Whatever the topic is in the paper, speak about that topic in general. The last line of that paragraph should be, my stand, however, is, and then talk about for or against whatever. Yashaswini.
So you said like a title we have to write, and can you give us tips how to write titles? Like
that's what this guy was asking, and he waited. I think he went away. Heath, ka? Heath.
Yes, sir.
मिला क्या तेरे को टॉपिक एक?
हाँ sir. Sir,
बता कर.
actually the videos are online, so we don't remember. We just Google and
हाँ
the
तू बोल ना यार. टॉपिक बोल.
So like my best friend had left the country because of the parents and something like that. And on the return of her, so मतलब what was the मतलब क्या बातें हुई all that.
ये तेरा ऐसे है.
नहीं टॉपिक ऐसा ही
मैं
कुछ आया.
समझा बट ऐसे इसको लेके लिखना है तेरे को.
नहीं I wanted to ask that मतलब टाइटल कैसे
अरे
लिखना
मैं
है.
समझा कुंडुस. मैं पूछ रहा हूँ कि ये तेरे ऐसे का टॉपिक है क्या?
हाँ.
अच्छा. तो अब तेरे स्टोरी पे डिपेंड करता है. Heath, now where's the story taking? So what I would write as a title is memories, a memorable day. Your best friend returned and you're spending time with your best friend, so it's a memorable day. So memorable day is your title.
Okay, sir.
Yashaswini, that's what I meant, by the way. Your title depends
Yes,
on the
sir.
topic. It should be relatable to the topic.
Yes, sir. Also, so can you recommend some books which you can read, like to get some ideas?
I can tell
and
you some
all
short
that?
stories that you guys can Google up. There's a story called Sniper by Liam O'Flaherty. I think it's an excellent story. Everyone should read it because those elements in the story is really interesting. All right. It's called The Sniper. The writer is Liam O'Flaherty. Liamo and Flaherty. Flaherty. All right. That's one story that's interesting. Roald Dahl's The Umbrella Man. I think you guys must have done it in your younger grades. If I'm like some schools have done it. It's an interesting story to read. All right. If you are a fan of descriptive writing, let's say you are someone who loves descriptive, you can read Dusk by Saki. So these are short stories. So when you read these short stories, you get inspirations and ideas on how to proceed with your own essay. And if you feel getting these short stories is difficult for you, just go with Chicken Soup for the Soul. That book is amazing. Like all the stories in that are real life incidents. They are narrative anecdotes. Very interesting. Very similar to what ICSE expects you to write. I would advise you never to go for essay books. That's a bad idea.
Okay, sir.
Sir.
प्रत्युष, तू मेरे को बाकी का स्टोरी सुनाने वाला ना इंडिया के बारे में?
नहीं सर एक वर्ड का मीनिंग पूछना, एक दो वर्ड का एग्जैक्ट. सर, what is the exact meaning of pulchritudinous?
Of what?
Pulchritudinous. Pulchritidinous.
तू प्रैंक कर रहा है मेरे को? तेरे को चाहिए
नो सर,
इंटरनेट पे दिखाओ कि मेरे को कुछ आता नहीं है शाने. ये चीज तो तू गूगल भी कर सकता. ये वाला पार्ट एडिट करेगा बिकॉज़ एडिटिंग मेरे पास है साले.
सर गूगल पे बहुत छोटा मीनिंग आता है. ब्यूटीफुल सर, इतना भारी वर्ड का मीनिंग एक छोटा सा ब्यूटीफुल सर.
तो तेरा प्रॉब्लम ये है कि सर वो भारी वर्ड का मीनिंग छोटा क्यों है? उसका आंसर मैं करूं तेरे को. देख ऐसे वक्त में ना टीचर्स कॉरिडोर में आ जाते हैं ये बोल के कि 1 minute आई गॉट अ कॉल फ्रॉम द स्टाफ रूम. फिर हम लोग कॉरिडोर में जाके गूगल करके वापस बाहर आते हैं. एंड हाँ, सो बेटा व्हाट वाज योर डाउट? हाँ ये अरे द वर्ड इज ब्यूटीफुल बेटा, दैट इज द मीनिंग. मेरे को क्या मालूम रहेगा ये वर्ड का मीनिंग? मैं डिक्शनरी है क्या? कुछ भी पूछता है कार्टून, नहीं आता है मेरे को. एडिट 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 एडिट. एक और बात, प्रत्युष कौन सा वर्ड चाहिए था तेरे को बेटा?
सर pulchritudinous.
It means beautiful, bacha. That word, no? The meaning is beautiful.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, what else? Yashash why fairy.
Sir, so
Look, I have a doubt, bacha. One doubt, huh? If I'm getting kidnapped and if you're my best friend, I have to call out to you. How do I call out your name? Like I'll die, right? By the time I have to actually pronounce your name. It's like Worcestershire sauce, wo jo reel hai. Your name is exactly like that. Like why is your name this? What does it mean?
भाई बचा ले.
हाँ भाई, oh ये हुई ना बात. देख नाम कितना छोटा है, मीनिंग कितना बड़ा है. Is that your real name or is it something you've come up with?
It's my real name. So it's Yashashway.
Yashashway.
Yes.
Yashashway.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Yashashway.
Sir, I wanted to ask कि जो स्पेसिमेन पेपर आया है ICSE की वेबसाइट पे, सर उसके अंदर से कौन से ऐसे will you suggest? जैसे कि the argumentative essay was parents can never be friends with their children. Would you suggest कि हम एक ऐसा essay लिखें?
कभी नहीं. मेरा सजेशन हमेशा नैरेटिव और स्टोरी के लिए ही होता है. I said hamesha. It's hamesha. I know that it's a slip of tongue. Yes, my suggestion is always to go with a narrative. What's the narrative in the specimen? You have the paper in front of you right now? Yashashwai.
Yes, sir, I do.
Yeah. So what's a narrative essay?
Sir, the story essay is that imagine a situation where a child runs away from home, but later returns home. Why did he run away, and
I would do
what
this.
made him?
Very
What made him
interesting.
come?
What's my next topic?
So the next is that parents one. The next is a descriptive one about.
What's the next one? I don't care about descriptive. Next one.
So it is very important for young people to spend quality time with themselves for a short while. If you were given an hour to spend on your own, how will you spend it? What
Very
will you
interesting.
learn?
That's a narrative. So you are narrating on what you'll do, your point of view. You're given account of how you'll spend time with yourself. That's interesting. I'd go with this, or I'd go with the story.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome, beta. One second.
Sir,
Any other doubt? Yes.
Sir, as in the specimen, it's like the narrative one. Can we go to the future tense?
Like what? Like I will be writing this essay later. See you, bitch. Essay.
No, sir. Like for like spending the time with ourselves. So like, I will be like to listening music and also like.
Okay. So I would.
I would.
I will becomes I would. So it's still past tense only. No matter what happens, you'll write in past tense. If I've had the time, I would have done this. I would do this. I would then go and do this. I would have. So everything is I would.
Okay, sir.
Sir,
Yes, Avantika.
now like the essay, there was this topic, if the world's ending, so how will you spend the last day in earth? Narrate that. So that will be in will or would?
Would. Everything is would only, bacha. You're talking about a possibility, but the tense is still past tense.
Okay, sir.
It's like me asking
So
you,
we are writing the composition after our death. This condition.
You're writing the composition
after death's last day.
नहीं वो बोल रही है, if it was a last day, what would you be doing on your last day? कुछ भी jokes मारते हो यार तुम लोग. वो बेचारा आदित्य का हाथ देख दर्द हो रहा है, कब से उठा के वो बैठा हुआ है बच्चा. ये आदि शुरू हो जा. क्या है, अब तुम मेरे को स्टोरी सुनाने वाला तेरा वाला?
नहीं स्टोरी नहीं, मींस अगर कोई ऐसा नैरेटिव
क्या करिए मानिया यार, वो बेचारा डाउट पूछा तभी तेरे को सूझा तेरा वाला डाउट. कब से वो रुका है यहाँ पे ऐसा होल्ड करके. रुक जा आदि, रुक जा, मैं तेरी मजाक नहीं कर रहा हूँ, सच्ची रुक जा. तेरा डाउट लंबा है. मानिया कुकरेजा, क्या डाउट है? पहले आदि को सुनो, उसका मुंह देख बेचारे का कैसा हो गया.
सर अब रो देगा.
हाँ आदि, मैं तेरे को लव करता हूँ, तू 2 मिनट होल्ड कर, तेरे डाउट्स में और 1 घंटा तेरे साथ स्पेंड करूंगा. मानिया तू बता मेरे को, तेरा डाउट क्या है?
So what if we forget to write the title? Will they like give us no marks for the essay, or will they only cut one?
No marks नहीं होता है. You might end up losing like half a mark or something. Why do you want to do that? इतना लंबा discussion जो है, why would you forget to write a title? Your only purpose for the next 2 months is to practice, beta. You will always remember to write the title.
Like
sometimes हो ही नहीं सकता बच्चा. तेरे को sometimes लग रहा है because normally तू एक 80 मार्क का पेपर लिखती है. ये पेपर में गिन चुन के 4 टॉपिक्स लिखने हैं तेरे को. Why would you mess up? There is no scope for error.
Okay, sir.
Yes, ही तभी होल्ड कर बच्चा patiently. Yes, आदि, no disturb. Like नहीं करेगा कोई तो interrupt.
हाँ सर, मतलब अगर कोई टाइटल दिया, हाँ मतलब नैरेटिव टाइटल, और उसमें अगर कोई मार्वल तड़का लगाना हो, मतलब मार्वल मूवीज मेरे को बहुत अच्छे लगते हैं. आई एम अ मार्वल फैन, स्पेशली स्पाइडरमैन का फैन हूँ, तो थोड़ा ऐसा लगा सकता हूँ.
नहीं लगा सकता बच्चा, मजाक नहीं कर रहा हूँ, बट नहीं लगा सकता है तू. A lot of kids are fans of quantum physics or Stephen Hawking or Flash or Arrow or DC World. You can't add those elements in your essay because you keep forgetting the person who's checking your essay might not be a fan. So they may not relate to what you are relating to, bacha. Everyone's interest is not the same. So you have to keep your topic very generic. You have to keep it very relatable. Okay. Keep it light. Don't try to complicate it.
Okay, sir.
यही था तेरा डाउट? तू इसके लिए होल्ड कर रहा था कब से?
नहीं सर, मतलब ना हमेशा जब मैं रेसेस लिखता हूँ ना, मतलब कभी मतलब 9th और 10th मतलब से पहले, तो थोड़ा ना ऐसा मार्वल तड़का लगा देता हूँ.
और फिर क्या होता है? मार्क्स मिलते हैं, नहीं मिलते हैं?
कट जाता है.
नहीं नहीं मतलब जब ऐसा असाइनमेंट रहता है ना तो का टीचर से चेक कर देती है और बोलते ठीक है मतलब
ओ स्कूल में ना लोग कोई ऐसे ठीक से नहीं चेक करता, वो उनके चाय के टेस्ट पे डिपेंड करता है। चाय अच्छा हो तो ऐसे में मार्क्स मिलेगा, चाय खराब हुआ तो शायद ना भी मिले। तो तू उसकी टेंशन मत ले, स्कूल एग्जाम्स के बेसिस पे खुद को जज मत कर, बट अगली बार मार्बल को मत डाल, ठीक है? थोड़ी देर के लिए रुक जा, जब तक डॉक्टर स्ट्रेंज रिलीज होगा तब तक तेरा पेपर हो गया होगा, तो तू होल्ड पे रख, ठीक है? कार्तिक या शुक्ला?
Sir, ऐसे लिखते समय can we bend towards a little bit of inappropriate language? Let's say we are writing.
Beta Karthik, you will not believe I had once read an essay where someone in the end wrote, he took my supari. मतलब as in this person wanted to assassinate me. उसको लगा कोई पढ़ेगा नहीं है, बेवकूफ है वो इंसान भाई, नहीं करना है ये सब, कोई inappropriate language नहीं use कर सकता.
Sir, the question which came up, the world's ending. So can we use a line like these naive fools are even aware that the world has came to an end? Sentences like these.
These night wolves.
These naive fools.
Naive fools. Where's the inappropriate language here?
So this is the language I'm talking about.
Oh, if that is your idea of inappropriate, beta, you can use it. That's not inappropriate at all. That's what my mom calls me. ऐसे ही मन में आता हूँ वो मेरे को naive fool बुलाती रहती है, तो उसमें कुछ inappropriate नहीं है. मेरे को लगा तू कुतरिया साले ये सब बोल रहा है, ये सब नहीं लिख सकते अपन बेटा. So avoid that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So genuine your doubt was. Good. What else? Who else has a doubt? Yes, Heath.
So I have a doubt in relation to literature. सर जो स्पेसिमेन पेपर आया था ना उसमें जो दोनों आरटीसी थे एमओवी पे वो दोनों एक्ट 4 पे थे, तो लाइक एग्जाम में एक्ट 5 आएगा ना?
100% आएगा, बट ऐसा रूल नहीं है, वो लोग जब पढ़ने बोल रहे तो सब कुछ पढ़ना है.
अच्छा, तो अगर मैं सिर्फ मैं मेरा मेन फोकस फॉर राइटिंग में मतलब एक्ट 5 रखूंगा तो चलेगा क्या?
नहीं चलेगा.
एक्ट 4 भी
एमसीक्यूज में एक्ट 4 आ सकता है.
हाँ वो तो मैं मतलब एमसीयूज के लिए करूंगा, मगर
बोल रहा तू पढ़ लेगा बट तू ज्यादा फोकस एक्ट 5 पे करेगा.
हाँ वैसे.
पर फिर जो हुआ वो हुआ, तो अगर एक्ट 5 आया नहीं तो क्या करेगा तू?
तो वही मतलब एक्ट 5 ऐसा
तुम मुझे पूछा वो आएगा ना, मतलब पोर्शन में है, बट ऐसा कोई रूल नहीं कि वो आना ही चाहिए.
अच्छा, तो एक्ट 4 एक्ट 5 अलग अलग आरटीसी.
मैं एमओवी स्किप करने ही ना बोलूंगा, लाइक डोंट स्किप इट. एमओवी करना ही चाहिए. इट्स इंटरेस्टिंग, इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट एंड इट्स वेरी स्कोरिंग. Especially now that you have 2 marks ke questions, it's very easy to score.
Yes sir. Okay sir, thanks.
Welcome beta. Who else has a doubt bacha? A lot of people are asking me doubts and then putting those 3 doubt. Don't do that. Just karan tu 3 dots डालेगा, उससे मैं नहीं देखने वाला हूँ तेरा doubt. रुक जा 1 minute. Scroll कर रहा हूँ मैं. Sir, is the Art of Effective Writing book really good to look for? No, don't read any essay books from the market. They all suck. जस्ट हो गया डाउट तेरा? अब बात नहीं कर रहा है मेरे साथ. हाँ जस्ट बोलना. अबे मिस्ट्री में क्यों है तू? जस्ट यस सर लिखा उसने, सॉरी 1 मिनट. Okay, who else? Adarsh. Sir, if you are done with all your doubts, I have a doubt out of box. Why do you wear 2 watches? अच्छा, अरे यार ये इसलिए है बिकॉज मेरे पास एक वॉच का कलेक्शन था. आई ऑलवेज हैड अ वॉच का कलेक्शन, बट देन आई गॉट द एप्पल वॉच जस्ट लास्ट ईयर. सो एप्पल वॉच इज समथिंग यू कांट टेक ऑफ, यू हैव टू वेयर इट ऑल द टाइम, एंड द रेस्ट ऑफ माय वॉचेस वर फीलिंग बैड दैट आई डोंट वेयर देम. So then I just started wearing them, and then I like it. I like the balance on both hands. So that's why I wear 2 watches on both hands. It's logical explanation, I think.
सर वो आपका जो आईफोन आई वॉच ऐसा लगता है कि ओमनिट्रिक्स है ये. तो
क्या है ये?
ओमनिट्रिक्स बेंटन
ओमलेटिक्स है.
ओमनिट्रिक्स.
अब तू मार्वल का कोई टर्म यूज कर रहा है, तू टेस्ट कर रहा है कि मेरे को आता है कि नहीं आता.
नहीं बेंटन.
तो मेरी उम्र क्या लग रही है तेरे को? क्यों ऐसा लग रहा है कि मैं कभी ना कभी लाइफ में बेंटन देखा होगा?
सर उसको लग रहा होगा आप डोरेमोन भी थे.
डोरेमोन मेरे लोग बेटा स्वॉट कैट्स देखते हैं. स्वॉट कैट्स पता है वो क्या है? स्वॉट कैट्स
नहीं माइट है, थोड़ा सा मालूम है. वो 2 बिल्ली रहती है ऐसा थोड़ा बहुत कुंफू आता है उन दोनों को.
कुंफू कुछ नहीं आता उनको. तू देख और अपना रिसर्च कर ठीक से. ये होते थे अच्छे कार्टून्स लाइफ में, ठीक है? स्वॉट कैट देख, जॉनी क्वेस्ट देख, ही मैन देख, ये सारी अच्छी चीजें.
ही मैन का तो अभी आया नेटफ्लिक्स पे, तो मैं देख रहा हूँ उसको. तो थोड़ा मेरा भाई मेरे को नहीं देखने देता ये।
और क्या डाउट है? अब तुम्हें नेक्स्ट पूछा शिनचैन की तरह दिखते हो आप, मैं मारेगा तेरे को यार। तू काम की डाउट्स पूछ मेरे से।
डोरेमोन क्यों मर गया?
ना ना
डोरेमोन
ना
क्यों
ना,
मर गया?
ना मैं सिंचन विंचन नहीं देखता, मैं थोड़ा सा हूँ
गाइस,
थोड़ा।
जब मैं लेक्चर स्टार्ट किया था तो मेरा गाल थोड़ा फूला फूला सा था। अब मेरा गाल ऐसे सिंक इन हो रहा है क्योंकि ये मेरे खाना खाने का टाइम हो गया है। तुम लोगों को भूख नहीं लग रही है क्या लाइफ में? डाउट्स क्या है पूछो ना यार जल्दी से। देन आई मूव ऑन।
सर रिजल्ट के बाद भूख मर गया।
अच्छी बात है, भूख बढ़नी चाहिए मार्क्स के लिए। आर्या, यू आस्किंग मी समथिंग ऑन द ईमेल?
Yeah, you didn't do email, and I think you didn't do another one. It was like you only did notice and.
You know, I was kidding about me growing old, right? I know what I did. You think I have some short-term memory or what? I told you why I couldn't do it because I don't have the pen. It's not functional.
I
So
know I couldn't do it like.
I'll conduct another class for the same. When I do it, I'll put it up on the group, on Insta. You can follow it up. All right, I'll do it. Okay then. Adarsh is asking me for my number. आदर्श नॉर्मल इवेंट में मैं देता नहीं, बट यार मेरे को रोज प्रैंक कॉल्स आते हैं, तो अब मैं क्या, क्यों नंबर क्यों चाहिए मेरे को, ये बता पहले।
सर जस्ट वांटेड योर गाइडेंस।
बच्चा, जितने लोग मेरा नंबर लेता है दे एंड अप हेटिंग मी बिकॉज, अपने तेरे को प्रूफ दिखाता हूँ क्यों। ये देख, ये देख 87 अनरेड मैसेजेस थे, वो कहीं ना कहीं दिखेगा 87। ये अभी तक मैंने पढ़े नहीं है। मैं very bad at chatting, bacha, because now by the time I'm done, I'll go home, I'll eat, then I'm just gonna like poop for 1 hour, then I'll answer missed calls, then I'll sleep, then I'll make a reel or something if I feel like it. उसमें मैं नहीं पढ़ सकता हूँ, बट मैं तेरे लिए हूं जब भी तेरे को जरूरत है, ठीक है? तू टेंशन मत ले। तू कट्टी है मेरे साथ, नंबर नहीं दिया इसलिए।
नो सर।
हाँ, तो मेरा नंबर है इंटरनेट पे यार, तू ढूंढ सकता है, टेंशन नहीं है। और क्या
सर मर्चेंट ऑफ वेन्स में मतलब टीचर लोग ना ऐसा पूछता रहता है कि वो एनोटेशन और वो सब पे ज्यादा ध्यान देना पड़ता है क्या?
नहीं, एनोटेशंस एंड लाइंस मेमोराइज नहीं करनी होती है आईसीएसई में, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है।
तो मतलब मीनिंग भी लिखो तो चलेगा ना?
ओ, तू कीवर्ड्स को एनोटेशंस के साथ कंफ्यूज कर रहा है। एनोटेशंस का मतलब है कि तेरे को हर एक लाइन को रट्टा मारना है, वो नहीं करना है, बट कीवर्ड्स लिखना है। सो लेट्स से तेरे को पूछा हु इज डैनियल, so you'll actually have to write the actual footnotes given in the textbook about who Daniel was. That's called footnotes. You have to write that. It's important.
Okay, sir.
All right. I'm going to conduct classes for Act 4. I'll help you guys with whatever I can soon. For now, let's call it a day. All right. You guys can all chill. Cheers. And thanks for attending the class.
Thank you.
And I will see you. अबे डाउट पूछ सकता है बच्चा, मैं हूं अभी भी, बोल क्या डाउट?
सर सीक्वेंस
it was a nice experience.
अगर उनने पहले ऐसे दिया है तो ऐसे ही करना जरूरी है?
वापस बोल, सुनाई नहीं दिया।
सर सीक्वेंस इंपॉर्टेंट है क्या? अगर उनने पहले ऐसे दिया है?
बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है।
तो सर अगर उनने पहले ऐसे दिया है तो ऐसे ही अटेम्प्ट करना है?
हाँ, पर तू क्या कर सकता है, तेरे को पता है ऐसे 2 साइड से ज्यादा करना नहीं है तेरे को, तो तू 2 साइड छोड़ दे, फिर नेक्स्ट पेज पे जा। नॉर्मली अगर 80 मार्क का ग्रामर पे होता तो तू 5 4 3 2 1 कर सकता है, लाइक ग्रामर से स्टार्ट कर, पर अब तू वो एरा में नहीं है, इसलिए तो इस बार ऑर्डर में ही जाना जरूरी है।
ओके सर।
कल्टी जाएंगे सब लोग?
यस सर।
टेक केयर, गुड नाइट गाइस, स्टे सेफ, लव यू, बाय।
Bye sir, thank you
so much, sir.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you sir.
sir.
Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Bye sir, good night sir.
Thank
you
you
sir.
यस बोलना।
सर
यस बोलना यार, सर आगे तो बोल।
ओके
सर,
सर आपका कोई ग्रुप है, मतलब उसमें मतलब मुझे ऐड होना है क्या? आप थोड़े नोट्स है इंग्लिश के ऐसे कुछ, मतलब
मैं पूछता हूँ तेरा क्वेश्चन, सर इज देयर एनी ग्रुप जिसमें मैं ऐड हो सकूं, जिसमें कोई नोट्स वगैरह मिल सकता है मेरे को? दैट्स व्हाट यू आस्किंग?
यस सर।
सुमित तुम्हें पे ट्रस्ट करता है इतना सा?
यस सर।
कोई नोट्स काम के नहीं है तेरे ये एग्जाम के लिए। अगर आज हम दूसरा बोर्ड एग्जाम दे रहे होते हैं जो नॉर्मल बोर्ड एग्जाम है, तो मैं तुझे खुद के नोट्स फॉरवर्ड करता। मैंने बहुत लोगों को भेजे हुए हैं, मेरे को कोई पैसे वैसे नहीं चाहिए उसके लिए, बट द पॉइंट इज ये एग्जाम के लिए नोट्स काम के ही नहीं है, तेरे को सिर्फ टेक्स्ट बुक चाहिए, तो तू नोट्स का क्या करेगा? सिर्फ और सिर्फ टेक्स्ट बुक इंपॉर्टेंट है। टेक्स्ट बुक पढ़, डाउट्स गैदर कर, मेरे को पूछ, मैं तेरे डाउट्स क्लियर करेगा, बट टेक्स्ट बुक पे फोकस कर, सिर्फ और सिर्फ टेक्स्ट बुक।
सर आपको
Okay,
पूछ
sir.
कहाँ सकते हैं?
क्या कर सकते हैं
सर आपको कैसे पूछे, कैसे डाउट?
ये कोई ट्रिक क्वेश्चन है क्या? तू अभी कैसे पूछ रहा है?
सर ऐसे मतलब ये तो अभी लाइव क्लास है, लेकिन
मैं हर वीक आएगा तेरे को मिलने के लिए, तू एक एक वीक पढ़ाई कर, डाउट्स गैदर कर, 5 मिनट के लिए भी आना है तो 5 मिनट के लिए आ, डाउट्स पूछ और निकल जा।
ओके सर।
और क्या डाउट है? अरे तो जाओ ना तुम लोग, मैं नहीं जा सकता ना तुम लोग के बिना, मेरे को ऐसा रूड लगता है थोड़ा। सब लोग कल्टी मार।
सर वो 2000 वर्ड का कॉम्पोजिशन लिख के आपको भेजेंगे, चेक कर दीजिएगा इंस्टा पे।
वो नहीं कर सकता हूँ क्योंकि मेरे को टाइम नहीं मिलता और मेरे को पढ़ना बहुत बोरिंग लगता है। लोगों यहाँ पे ऑलरेडी मेरे खुद के 400 बच्चे, उनका मैं चेक करूँ, तेरा चेक कर वो प्लस तू तो 2000 वर्ड के एसेस लिखता है बैठ के, तेरे एसेस में चेक करूँ, उसमें तू 2-3 वर्ड्स डालेगा उठपटांग से मेरे को टेस्ट करने के लिए, फिर तू लोगों को बोलेगा यार पटना में बैठ के यार ये मुंबई के टीचर्स ना इनको कुछ आता नहीं है। ब्यूटीफुल है मीनिंग वो वर्ड का, ब्यूटीफुल।
सर स्कूल का टीचर ग्रुप में मैसेज किया, क्या करें सर, हम पूछा भी नहीं पहले।
ठीक है मजाक कर रहा हूँ, बट मैं चेक नहीं करूंगा, उसका मजाक नहीं करूंगा, सच्ची नहीं चेक करूंगा, मेरे को चेक
यस सर,
किसी और
नहीं भेजेंगे।
हाँ ठीक है, और क्या डाउट? जाओ ओके।